don't see what's actually happening. And that's pretty much what I gotta say. You know, if you want to dialogue a little bit more, we can. But that's pretty much my take on the situation.
Yeah, no, and that's a great take to have on it. And yeah, you don't gotta go nowhere. This is an open panel discussion, so you can vibe with us as long as you want. In a little bit, I'm gonna turn off the camera and start driving through traffic to pick up my little man. But we got a couple more people backstage, so I'm gonna bring them up to join the discussion. We got Ahmad in the house. How's it going, Ahmad?
And same here, brother. I'm gonna take the camera off because I'm about to drive as well.
Yep,
but
sure.
I'm gonna join from YouTube. But thanks for having me. I'm still tuned in.
Oh, hey, also, before you leave, I put my new phone number in the private chat. I changed phones, so I no longer have your number no more. So just shoot me a text, brother. Let's lock in.
All right, I got it. I just locked it in.
Can I quickly respond to the brother?
Yeah, go ahead.
Sure. What's up?
There's two things. Hi. There's two things I wanted to add. That 20 million that you were talking about that the British government paid. There's a group that spent about 3 years actually tracing the people who that money was paid to. And they actually found out that the likes of David Cameron, who's the Prime Minister's family, benefited from that money. In fact, they've only just found out 2 weeks ago that the Guardian newspaper, one of the most popular newspapers in the UK, was built on the back of the proceeds from the cotton trade in South America. The historians, they're black historians who have spent their lives looking for this. Even they didn't know this. This is how far this is hidden. This is all the stuff that's coming out now. And you see,
totally agree.
Yeah, you see, the part of the problem is there's so much just coming out at the same time. It's like a lot of the people in the establishment, you have what you call a bout of cognitive dissonance. You know, Malcolm X said something that when you want to feed the truth to the black man, it has to be drip fed, because there's so much that's happened. If you feed him the truth all at the same time, it's too much to take. That's the same thing that's happened to the white people now. The truth and the horrors of what happened, it's all coming out at once. So in this case, what do? You start lashing out to defend. No, it didn't happen. It wasn't us. It was you guys. Leave me alone. This is too much.
Totally agree. And to add to that, 40 acres in a mule in today's money is about $650,000. To add to your Malcolm X point, I got a clip on my page. Malcolm X talking about the Uncle Toms and the Sambo. He say the first thing that the white power structure do when they come to our community, they meet with the black leaders, take them out for coffee, and then next thing you know, the black leaders come out and say, hey, this man ain't so bad. He's all right. You should come support him. And that's the same thing that happens nowadays. One of our biggest issues in our community is that the people who we put in place for leadership and we trusted and may have started out with honest intentions, many of them have sold out. And we see that in politics.
Wait, hold on real quick, brother.
Now start to see it in this YouTube space.
Hold on real quick. I want to go ahead and shout out your channel. Y'all, if y'all don't know about Facts for Gentlemen, go over there and subscribe to the brother. Stays dropping knowledge. And actually, let me see if I can play this clip that you're talking about. Are you guys able to hear the volume? Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
To show that he's all right. And most of the time, can't hands up the ball.
So they can't pass it up.
Uncle Tom loves the coffee, y'all.
You see,
telling you and me that this man is all right.
Sound familiar?
That sounds real familiar. Pearl's all right. She employs all these Africans, y'all. Don't you know? Pearl's all right. She cuts my check.
Right.
You see,
I'll tell you exactly what happens. Sorry, I didn't mean to overspeak you, brother.
So you have to remember something, okay? And I've said this to many people. Black people Okay, black people, people originally from Africa, are the most spiritual people on this planet. This is a known fact, and it's because of that spirit, that spirit of hospitality that we have. That is what is taken advantage of. There's a lady I used to work with. She's Portuguese, white Portuguese, but she was raised in Mozambique, and she said, "Chris, I don't speak with most of my family because ever since I've been in London, my ideas that I grew up with have changed." She said, "I know what they feel, what their thoughts are like, but I don't speak with them because I know what they're like." And she said, "But I want to ask you something." I was with another friend who's black guy as well, and she said, someone once told me that she said the black lady once told me that you white people should be very, very grateful that black people are not seeking revenge. And she
Hey, what's happening? What's going on? Welcome to the show.
I don't care what part of
I'm aronmsound, and this is Look Up the Remix, and we have a really important, very big show for you
today. What we have always fought for is equality.
Let me.
Revenge and rectification are two different things.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm currently watching.
I said, ask anyone.
Mike TV.
Had it been that we want revenge,
let me turn the music down a little bit.
You lot
get you into the space that we're at. We've been chasing down pearly things all week long.
The threat
and following up on this
is usually worse
white
than
nationalist world.
You know what? When you have to sleep with one eye open,
all of this content on Fresh and Fit and the disingenuous activities of the DGG and so many other platforms, No Jumper, it has something to do with the management. It has something to do with
for so long
an influence,
that even
apparently,
the equality we're
from my
asking
understanding,
is
likely
an insult
directly from YouTube.
to these people.
So what we're
because
listening to
they've had
right
this
now
power
is
for
a
so long.
conversation
It's
ongoing
like,
with my good buddy
You
Hey, real
and
quick,
colleague
real quick,
over
Ahmad,
there at Mike TV.
I know we just brought you up to the panel.
So
are you able to hear us? Okay.
Yeah, I can hear you guys.
If you guys can hear me in the background,
Yeah, for sure.
what's going on?
Hey, so real quick,
the image on screen you see right now is
all the people backstage.
is actually his.
So we got Ahmad, we
me,
also got Barry in the building,
scroll
we
this
also
on
got
over
Mo
a
in the
little bit.
building.
There we go.
And let's
all right.
go, in
so
order, at least just
sorry I'm eating.
remarks.
Today I've been
I'm
preparing for this
excited
interview.
for it.
I got late. It was a last minute thing. I'm just a little of my background. I've been a production manager, an audio engineer, a tour manager, a fixer, a designer, all kinds of things. Oh my god, I even forgot. Oh my gosh. I forgot to turn. I'm so behind today, looking at so much of the tech. I forgot to turn my flipping light on. Hold on a second. Let me. Give me 2 seconds.
Candace Owens, a black woman.
Yeah. Speaking of which, this is the whole thing. This is about the management. It's very important. All right, I got to unclip for a second and turn my light on.
Pearl come out here and say what she said and did what she did with Nick Fuentes and a lot of other remarks and a lot of other things that she said and done over the last few months. And to see black men and black women come to her rescue, come to her defense. If Candace Owens had, say, I don't know, Minister Farrakhan on her podcast, and they were laughing,
working on three.
He and Han making
Can't hear
fun
me.
of white people.
Can't hear you.
Making fun of
Because I'm not
white
plugged
men.
in. All right.
They would have canceled Candace Owens within the hour.
So yeah.
No white people.
Thanks for joining me. Make sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already.
So I find
If you watch more than one of my videos,
that any black
you and I have meatloaf because we're making something together. And so I'd like you to like and subscribe because otherwise we can't finish that meatloaf together at the same
people
table.
who work for her,
And it's free. It's free meatloaf between you and me.
And they were the first people
Like and
to come
subscribe.
to the defense. And, they
And most of the
drug a
time,
bunch of other
I'm back
people to
already,
their
so.
defense. Our problem in the black
Yeah, there I
community,
am.
man, we're too forgiving because they would not have defended Candace Owens the way that they're defending.
No. In listening to the conversation, I'd agree with the gentleman. None of those guys would ever. Kevin Samuels definitely would not have agreed
There's something
with the
you have
current
to remember,
language and tactics going on.
This is what I'm
You know, a lot of this,
Let's give
by the way,
everybody a
under the
chance to
desk,
open
is
our
currently being attacked by a very small tiger. You can't see it, but I am a tiger tamer because the tiger is tame. Well, no, it's not tame. It's full blown attacking me.
All right, I don't know if Barry can hear us. And actually, I'm on my phone
Oh my
now,
goodness,
so
I'm
I
so
can't
out of
see the
sorts.
order
Look at
in
my
which
green
people
screen
join.
today.
So if you're new
Because I was
to the
filming
panel, just go ahead
some
and
new stuff last
speak
night.
up and let us know what you
Here,
think.
let me get it correct for you guys, okay?
Yo, this
Hold on a
is
second.
Mark.
I like my show to be correct. I don't want
Yeah,
you to
not
think
okay,
I come on here and do things like, you know, King Snitches and them, where you just hop in front of a camera and sit in a chair and do nothing. No. Those folks don't make their own stuff. They just, you know, sit in front of a camera. People like Mike TV that you're listening to right now, that's you know, that's who actually makes content. Come on. Oh, I know why he's got the picture up. He's in the car right now. He's picking up his kid. I love that he's still running his show. Talk about the dedication and the kind of commitment to creativity that, you know, people who do this, you know, none of us are making money. It's not about money. We're trying to spread a message. We're trying to contact people. We're trying to be in touch with you. So that's why I have a theme of look up, because I try to bring a little illumination to the fact that there's so much mind-bending hypnosis involved in just sitting there and watching media nowadays, that it's hard to say whether or not a certain amount of the public knows what's real and what's not. And I've definitely been finding in the past week, in calling into the show and talking to people and going on Discord, and such, that there is a lot of jargon, but not a lot of perspective. Meaning that wisdom is kind of thrown out the door, and everything and anything can be replaced with modern, revisionist logic. And so it makes it easy for people like Just Pearly Things and folks like that to revise history they don't know and just make it up as they go. Which is pretty insane. Oh, I said I was not going to half-ass. Hold on.
You know, people just need to get the basics that, you know,
Sorry.
Racism and slavery.
So I'm going to real time fix some shit. It might glitch a little. Maybe it won't.
Government.
I think it's because of this time of day. Oh yeah, it was because I had that different screen. Oh, I'm gone. There we go. Get me down in real world. All right, that's better. I'm not all shiny and weird. I hate that. It's not. I don't say hate very often. You notice that? I don't like little shimmering. Yeah, the shimmering bothers me. Hold on a second. Let me make sure that when I want to have a conversation with you, that I'm not shimmering and you're looking at that. Hold on a second. Hold on. Let me turn the. Hey, are we okay? You and me? You good? I'm so. Thank you for being here, by the way. Like and subscribe, and yeah, let me know what you think. Call on in. I'm going to be giving Akil a call in a bit, which leads me to actually what the show is about today. So for some time now, within a certain set of communities, there's been a strange, and let me talk to you guys. When I talk about the construct and the obelisk and the mental prisons, I wish I was making this up. I know I've taken advantage of it in business. All right. I'm going to stop the music. I'm going to change over to a different device because that's going to die. And I'd like to be able to make the phone call as well. So before I ASMR you and drop the whole, you know, let's put this up, Harold. Sorry for the blue screen, by the way. Like, you really care. You don't care. And a little external display. Now you've got a screen that says, I'm in the darkness. All right, yes. So let's select something funky. I love this one. I'm a big fan of that one. I'm also a big fan of this one. And I'm going to go over here. And first off, you don't want to hear the music to that stuff because that's just, like, not correct at all time. Oh, no. Don't change the speed, Aaron. No, that's not what we're trying to do. We're trying to turn the volume down on these things. And then, sorry for I try to have my tech together for you guys, but I was prepping for the interview that's going to happen today. If you didn't know, okay, so there's a conspiracy theory about Jurassic 5. And I used to work for Jurassic 5 as the executive assistant running the business. I was the tour manager for a good while there. I was the production manager and the front of house engineer, and I started as a covering engineer on monitors and then moved my way up as people went away. And some of those people I'd known for a very long time, And some of them became very good friends of mine. And one of them, I am very proud to say, is Akil J5MC. And he should be joining us at some point today. I know he'll be calling in, or I'll be calling him. I'll check it out with him, see which way we go. But we had a conversation about this because I've been thinking about it for the past couple of days, and I realized that he wasn't taking part in. I probably didn't even know about the conversation that was actually happening right now about, what we would call the manosphere or the red pill. He may be removed. I didn't know if he was involved or knew anything about it. He has been doing some streaming, but this is a person who, like myself, is not interested in fully taking advantage of like the financial portion of it. It'd be nice, but it's not the focus of this. We're just talking and spreading a message and talking about our thoughts, experiences. I was about to say feelings, and that does play into it, but it has more to do with our ideologies and our concepts of the world. And it's important to note that we don't take these things lightly. We both, though I may not agree with everything that he says, and I'm always open about this stuff, by the way, if you ever notice, I'm always very open with you guys about whether or not I agree with everything. And most of the time I don't. By the way, I am never monolithic about agreement with everybody. There's always something. There's always going to be something. So in Akil's case, we have had plenty of discussions where we don't agree, but we are very good friends, so we know how to agree to disagree. And we come from two opposite spectrums, but we've seen so much of the same stuff that we can't disagree on the premises of how the world can be manipulated around you. That, and also, let's hit the beat, shall we? Oh, I was all 80s last night. I don't know if I'm feeling the 80s right now. I was more, sorry, boo DJ. That grind, about that grind, you know what I'm saying? Grind, okay. Scared my dog, So I'm gonna bring myself down in the corner. And let me pull up the visuals where they should be, because everything is all out of whack today because of my filming. Normally, like I said, I'd be way more with it. Today, I'm just like, woo, where am I? Aaron? Señor Aaron? ¿Dónde está Aaron? And officially, the iPad hath died. Yep. Oh, it did. It did not. That's the other thing. iPad didn't charge last night. So no proper, my normal instrument that is like everything. Nada! But that's what happens. Oh, I didn't even a nutshot down. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me do that again. A nutshot! Oh, now I'm out of frame. That sucks. All right, hold on a second. A nutshot. All right, yeah, there we go. All right, so let me pull the iPhone. There, now I got a visual. Okay. There we go. Now we got a grooving. All right, so what I'm going to show you today is just an example of how conspiracies can go so far out from reality that somebody can take a piece of footage of a tour bus tour that I was actually there on the bus. I think I'm in the back for it. I haven't actually looked at this footage, by the way, but I remember it being filmed, so I was around. And it wasn't the only time, but I've seen this footage out there, and it goes from just wacky to downright scary. Because this is my friend, and he is not Tupac. He doesn't look like Tupac, he isn't the same height, he isn't from the same area, and his group of folks would have been general juxtaposition just because of the neighborhood, and I could be getting this wrong, we'll have to ask him. And the people he grew up with, everything is wrong with the conspiracy. It's not just kind of wrong, it's so far-fetched, I had to wonder where it came from. Well, I know where it comes from. And to track that down, you actually have to go to things that don't exist anymore. Because the videos have been taken down. Because the people that started the rumor weren't very mentally healthy. Specifically, a fan in Philadelphia who used to, and I should say, she was more of a groupie, and she would show up trying to bring presents. And she also, when was told that she couldn't come backstage, essentially got upset. And her reaction was to go down this rabbit hole of confabulation. Because truthfully, I worked for the DPG in the late 90s as a technician. I worked as a monitor engineer for Snoop Dogg, which later got me the job with the Gap Band. I got to be friends with Dave Aaron. I spent a lot of time on the bus with Snoop and Trey D and Nate and Daz and Corrupt and Priest and let's see, and originally, and I always forget this because it's so easy, it was a very short period of time. My first introduction into that, before I met Snoop at Leeds Rehearsal Hall, or was introduced to him by a gentleman named Tommy D, who asked me, "Hey, do you know how to do audio?" Well, I was sweeping a stage. And I said, "Oh yeah," because I knew who he was from. He said, "Oh, we need a monitor man." And I was like, "I'm your guy. What do you need help with?" And then he admitted to me that he didn't know how to do front of house audio. But that's a whole other story. That's a whole other story for the other day, how Tommy D ran away from my first large concert that I ever mixed. That was frightening because my life was in jeopardy, and also exhilarating because it changed my life. Which is one of the examples of, by the way, stretch yourself, folks. Pressure yourself. You don't need to fall into the categories that people tell you that you need to. You can get out of your comfort zone as long as you weigh the risks and do it with a sense of caution, but still be realistic about what you can pull off, because most people can pull off way more than they think they can. So, essentially, what we're talking about here is a pipeline. I'm going to talk about the meta. I'm going to back up a little bit and talk about the meta. I've been talking about a pipeline of manipulation in general. And I've been watching YouTube as I observe the pipeline and report on and take notes on and commiserate over with other YouTubers and some traditional media separately, IRL, about this pipeline. And that's how I came back on. I was brought to look at some things that were going on that somebody thought I would find interesting. And I did, because the insidious nature of it is so widespread. And it's simply because people like myself and Akil, the J5MC, just are simply not out there. So now we're here. And today, I'm bringing him up on the platform so he can tell you what's up with this conspiracy theory about my guy and how they...
Tell me, what does Tupac Amaru Shakur mean?
Exactly.
Okay.
You know, what my guy has to do with, and I'm about to skip back here, what my guy, my very good friend, has to do with, any of that crowd, totally separate. This man right here is not in any way, shape, or form that guy right there. That guy right there is taller than me. I'm 5'9". He's an inch taller than me. Tupac was. Okay. This gentleman right here, who I've known, slept across from on a tour bus in a bunk, spent a lot of time, been on bikes with in Amsterdam, spent an incredible large amount of time in the back of a tour bus with. Helped him on the stage. Welcomed him separately to my own work on tour. Met his family and his children. I know everything about this man. This guy is not Tupac. It's not just not Tupac, it's like it's not possible in any way, shape, or form, much less that's not realistic, folks. It's not. It's like a crazy fantasy that somebody told you that you went running amok, and then you started to point at the other members. I guarantee you, not a single one of them is anybody but themselves. I know their last names, I've seen their passports, I know everything about them. I've seen their social security numbers. I've made sure they got paid. And it hurts me to think that people are out there threatening my friend because they think he's somebody else. It concerns me to think that my friend is there suffering because the internet is profuse with conspiracy theories that are unhinged and untethered to reality. So today, we're going to start for real, beyond just me sitting on a panel on my TV, beyond me just telling you about love and thought and the obelisk and the Ben on top. Today, we're starting the mother frickin' revolution, people. I can't curse because they'll take me down. And yeah, I gotta still interject the silly into the whole damn thing because the Ben will catch me up in the algorithm. But the truth is, I am going to fight this tooth and nail IRL. I will, brick by brick, assist with everybody else who's out there. And I am both empowered, enraged, and on top of that, invigorated to do this beyond just sharing some philosophical wisdom. I'm ready to take the structure down. Now, the other day, somebody said to me, well, people use the construct as a term when they can't explain things. No, my child, that is you choosing to not understand what's been built around you. And I say my child because I'm talking to somebody under 30, because apparently everybody under 30 has been hypnotized in some crazy way. And, oh, how could they have been hypnotized? I can't imagine how at all people could have been hypnotized at all. You know what I'm saying? Have I been on the wrong camera? No, I've been on the right camera this whole time, yeah. No, I can't imagine how people have been, hypnotized. Can you imagine how people have been hypnotized? I can't possibly imagine how all of you have been hypnotized. Can you imagine how you've been hypnotized? I can't possibly at all ever have you had fear. Imagine how you have possibly ever been, how you have ever been hypnotized. Now that we're talking, I want you to think about the suggestion that I've just placed in your head. And I want to think about all of the things that are running in your subconscious right now, because I'm going to wipe them out for you. This is a suggestion that you have no fear of the basic fear mongers. And you shall align and unify, and we shall all do this together. Because you and I are here inside the outside of the obelisk, and I shall reach into you, throwing your bedazzled, poopy-flavored skinnerds out to your neighbors' poopy-flavored prisons, with the cells wide open. I reach to you with this sledgehammer of equality and freedom. Because the dumb stands for domination, and you shall be free of the domination. And I'll take your hand and we'll step outside of it. Just step on back. You don't have to take part. It's a mental maze that somebody else has sold you, so you'll buy a pair of Nike. I'm aronmsound. This is Look Up. Please like and subscribe. Today, I'm really proud to say that I'm going to be interviewing ad nauseum, ad length, and then taking your calls with Akil, the J5 MC. And we're going to talk about how Akil is very much not Tupac Shakur. They have nothing in common. They were born in the same area. They aren't the same height. They don't sound the same as somebody who's mixed hundreds and hundreds of shows with Jurassic 5. There are many people surrounding me, and there's so many people to confirm this. It's not even, I can't even believe that I'm actually having to sit here and say this right now. But the truth is, when it comes right down to it, folks will believe anything that confirms their bias. And folks just love to hang on to things that make them feel tribalized and part of a larger system. Now, I hate to say it, but it does happen when we join in mass, when the mob gathers together. Give me 2 seconds. Let me kill the internet here over on this side. All right. There we go. Oh no, that's the wrong one. Oh yeah. Don't dox myself. Hey, Akil, how you feeling, man?
I'm doing all right. Sorry about that. I was talking to my wife and stuff.
Oh, how's she doing, man?
She's doing all right. I just got off with her right now. So I will be calling. Where do I call to? I'm calling.
You just if you go to YouTube, you call on the Zoom. You're live right now. I'm sorry, I should have told you that the moment I got you on the phone. I apologize.
Oh, okay, that's all right. So what, do you want me to just talk on here or what?
No. I was just going to call you just to catch up and just, make sure people knew that, I don't really have many watchers, so we can be very intimate, by the way, and we could just be sitting here having the discussion. If you want to let your crowd know that you're on doing this interview, that might be good. Put a shout out on your channel. I bet you they'll be showing up quick. I'd like to have the discussion with you. We can have you on the Zoom. That way you can share video or show stuff, show yourself. So it's not the imaginer. They'd be like, oh, see, it's TUPAC. They don't show his face. That crazy bullshit. See, he's in the Caribbean. No. By the way, my audience, Akil is in Atlanta, in the outskirts of Decatur, right, or something. I'm not gonna dox you, but he's in the outskirts in Atlanta, somewhere in Georgia, and so somewhere, and I doubt he's actually still where I think he was. So don't even worry about it. The point is folks, is he's not in the Caribbean. He's not on somebody's island somewhere. So, anyways, yeah, man. If you just if you go to YouTube and you go to the chat, there's a call in that you can hit. You can do it from your phone. It'll share your video, whatever you need.
Okay, what's your YouTube again?
Just like you spell on my email, Aaron ARONMSOUND.
Okay. All right. Is that one word or
all one word? Yeah, it'll come up. And then it's actually called Look Up the Remix Live. You'll see I changed the title to Akil the J5MC. I actually tagged you as well at the front of it. Akil the J5MC is not TUPAC, people. He is not TUPAC. So that's the key to today. And by the way, Akil, I'll be sharing some video with you and stuff like that. I want to get your response and reaction to some of this stuff because I really believe that there's a connection. We were talking about this earlier, folks, just so the audience knows you and I offline, that there's a connection between the white nationalist movement and some management and maybe even YouTube possibly in perpetrating these false narratives that you are directly experiencing, and I want the audience I want you to share that with the audience today about your experiences with the false narrative and how it's affected you, what you've gone through. So,
okay, all right, I'm gonna get on right now, and I'll hit you up.
Righteous, man, great talking to you for a second. I'll see you in a minute.
Okay, all right, peace.
Thanks, Q. All right, well, there you go. That's how it works. You give someone a call, they're your homie. You want to do them right so that they have a platform to speak on. He has one on his own, but sometimes it helps to be elsewhere. Sometimes it helps to not just be on your own platform because your own audience may be watching you for their biases. So it's important to understand that what I'm trying to really actually do here is give another side to the story so you see it from another angle because of what I've been focusing on specifically. And I'm hoping that I can share some of Mike TV with you and with him at some point in the day. So let's get that back up. Yeah, hold on a second. Let me see here.
5 Source Awards. I was literally at its funeral. These words from Questlove paint a pretty bleak picture of what.
Tell me, what does
Now, I don't like to give these people a platform, but I do believe that it is important that we see who they are. It's important to keep your enemy in your eyesight. So in this case,
1, 2, 3, yeah, Angel Heart
Yo, what's up? This is EJ with Angel Arts TV. I'm chilling right here with the man himself.
Yeah, I killed the MC.
so this is
What's up, y'all? Down here in Copenhagen. So what's good with you?
one of the main videos that's been used to, by the way, kind of paint Akil in some kind of crazy light. And what I don't get about this is how that even comes into play. When you consider that he doesn't look like him, he doesn't act like him, he is not part of the same crew, he was in a totally different area, he was born in a different area, he has a different voice and a total, hey, oh, somebody's here, hold on a second, let me get up in the messaging, Akil, and again, I'll bring you in. Sorry, typing in all caps and shit like that. Yeah. All right, let me get down to the phone call. Sometimes the app doesn't want to actually do its thing. Oh, there's the call-in visual. It's underneath. Oh, there it is. All right, give me 1 second. I'm gonna drag you on down. That is not our guest. Here we go. Hey, Akil, can you hear me? Oh, his audio's connecting now. Hey, what's happening? Akil, can you hear me? Oh, I'm muted. That's me. That's my bad. Host of the show got his shit muted. You okay? Can you hear me? Hold on a second. Let me make sure that you're not muted. Akil, can you hear me? I'm probably. Let me make sure the show audio's in. Audio call-in's in. Hold on. Can you hear me through Zoom right now, Akil? Hold on, I'm gonna make sure the yeah. Same system. Yeah. Akil, can you hear me? Is your Zoom audio on by any chance, Akil? You might have to unmute your mic. Oh, there's your audio coming in. Hey, Q, if you want, I got an idea. I got another idea. Hold on a second. I got a way to do this. Give me 1 second. Separately of the Zoom, I'm gonna call you on the other channel, on how we were just talking. So give me 1 second, because having a problem connecting here on my side. All right. See, this is what happens when it's real. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna just. Here we go. I'm gonna swap some tech. Swapping tech. This is what happens when you're live, ladies and gentlemen. Just all kinds of stuff will go wrong if it can. And yeah. All right. Show video out. Everybody get on board. Here we go. Let me call you back. There we go. Live TV, folks. So, Akil, I'm calling you on the Facebook now. Yeah. The Zoom for some reason just wasn't working.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So if you want to, hold on a second, let me pull up the video from this on this side. Hold on, I got all kinds of backup to backup. If I need the backup, here we go.
Okay.
There it is. There's that, and let me swap over. Hold on a second. Is that? Oh yeah, I gotta kill the call in. Hold on a second. It's high tech over here. I got so much technology going on. You know how I do.
I see.
And of course, I'm not gonna lie, everybody. When you're like, "Damn, he got that green screen rocking," that's because I took inspiration from the gentleman sitting right in front of you right now. And actually, yeah, I'm gonna change this up so they can't see mine. Hold on a second. Hold on. Let me see if I can close mine out so I just get you. Probably not, but that's okay. They know what's going on. It's not like I'm actually doing magic. So hey, man. Really good to see you. Thank you for being on today, man. I'm you know, we talked a little bit of it, but so I don't want the audience to miss out on kind of what's going on. But just background and just so the audience knows, I've known Akil, a decade now? Coming on a decade?
Yeah, at least about a decade and stuff. Well, yeah, because that was, that was 2000, you came in
13 or 14.
Yeah.
End of 13. Yeah, I covered for... Ray. I covered for Ray.
Yeah.
Originally.
Yeah.
And
Sound guy Ray.
Yeah.
Pick up Ray.
Ray. And where's Ray at now? He's J. Cole, right? He's still J. Cole.
I know, right?
Yeah, big time. Big time. So and then you know, Phil, Big Phil Strong, who was the front of house guy for a very long time for you guys. He moved on. And that's where that's where I took over front of house, and there are lots of things. But so this gentleman and I have known each other for a long time, and just to confirm, like we've been on a tour bus together, like extreme.
Been on a few tour buses. We've been from Australia to the UK,
all over Europe and some crazy places.
All over in a short time span and stuff, you know.
Yeah.
And you know, we would always conversate, you know, after the shows and link up and, you know, smoke our weeds when I was smoking weed.
You know, Akil had some adult things happen, so he had to leave us in the tribe of smokers. But you know, occasionally I put one in the air for the man. So you know, not in a bad way. You know, like vicarious.
No, we had good times. You know what I'm saying? It was, you know, nice times. Eating breakfast early in the mornings, and you know, just certain times we just linked up and whatnot. So it was good, you know, and we always have good conversations and stuff. One of the, I guess, what was my man that passed away? We was with what's his name?
Charles Barkley. I'm Charles Bradley. Yo, can I, before we talk about anything else today, and by the way, ladies and gentlemen, you're here to watch Akil and myself debunk this. I'm sorry, hold on a second. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second, Akil, while I just get this off my chest. And I'm going to mute myself a little bit here so I don't get taken down. But we're here to down so they stop talking this mother Tupac being my friend Akil here, because that's some fucking okay, so we're clear. I'm sorry, I had to get that. Can I get that off my chest? I'm sorry, I had to get that off because some bitches be snitching about their own sick psychologies, man. And I think appreciate it. Yeah, man, it's crazy. I think you know out here, and I've been fighting this other thing. But anyway, so yeah, the other day I turned on to this other program. This lovely. I'd have to pull up the name. I hate doing this without mentioning them, but it was like the first time I watched the program. It's some young ladies doing an LA broadcast about creativity and, you know, YouTubers trying to make it. But one of the things they brought up in the broadcast, by the way, and I just had to sideline. I was like, oh man, I wish Akil was watching this with me. They were like, man, you know, you can't give up. and this is a lot of times I tell my audience this because, they're selling the incels that's like, oh, if you aren't 6 feet and 6 figures and $6 million, you can't get laid. And Akil, tell the audience the lie that is. The 6 figure, $6 million fucking 6 foot man. Tell the audience what a lie that is real quickly, because they try to sell it.
I mean, I would say, I'm 5'3", so but I'm a married man.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. But that's what they talk about. Is you could never find that perfect wife. And let me tell you something. Akil's wife is a champion who will tackle you with her knowledge. So step back, all right?
You have different. I think it's just a matter of preferences and stuff. You know what I'm saying? People have their preferences, and what is what you're looking for and stuff. You know what I'm saying? What you willing to put up with and stuff. I mean. There is a small percentage of people. It's like it's definitely being a short man and stuff. You see the other side of it where women will have their preferences and stuff. They don't want a short man and stuff.
Yeah.
And so so they have their demands and whatnot, what they want or whatnot and stuff. You know what I'm saying? And as a man, he may have his demands and what he likes about a woman and stuff. So I think the communication thing between both male and female and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Or whoever likes whoever and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like the communication. You would think that we live in a world of technology. You would think that communication would have gotten more clear.
Yeah.
And more easier and more better and stuff. Technology seems to have made it that much more complicated and stuff, because
100%, man.
People don't talk no more and stuff. You just I send you an emoji and
yeah.
And you have to figure out what this emoji is and stuff. You know what I'm saying? I'm still trying to figure out. I feel like I be in the know, but then and then it be some stuff. I'm like, well, what does that mean? And you know what I'm saying? Or even how somebody may respond and stuff. You know what I'm saying? There's no emotions in a text.
Yeah. Yeah, you have to imagine. You have to imagine someone's thought.
In a certain way, like I'm a creative person and stuff, so sometimes I try to write it in a certain way and stuff, but still within that, people misconstrue what I'm saying.
Well, I mean, if you give them an inch, right? And I think that's what we're talking about today. If you give them an inch half the time, it's and folks, if you're like, what's going on with the camera? It's because I'm putting Akil up here so I can do my normal thing and look at you all at the same time. So I'm trying to figure this out here. So
where a person is at, what I'm saying, mentally and socially, and what do you understand about even conversating with a person, and by just the communication gap, man. It's just it's a serious communication gap.
And what do you think? Where do you think that comes from, other than just the I mean, we say the interwebs, we say YouTube, blah blah blah, but where do you think that because obviously I already have my own premising, but I'm giving you the platform today, and that's the other portion. Oops, shit. I'm giving you the platform today. They didn't see that, by the way. So, what do you think? Where do you think this is coming from?
I just think it's a lot of wires that are hooked up to be able to communicate and stuff, and so some may be what's the word, digital, and some is what's the analog,
Sure.
So the cross between the two and stuff, and so some people are speaking in mono and some people are speaking in stereo. So it's like, it depends on what you're hearing and how you have been trained to listen, so We all been brought up in different, environments and stuff, so how someone is speaking to somebody and how someone listens to someone and stuff, those things, I think that's where the breakdown is and stuff, where just the regular basics of, you have 2 ears and 1 mouth, so you should listen twice as much as you talk.
I wish I had. Right now, my iPad is dead. Normally, I'd be like, "Whip, pew, 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 pew," for that one. Come on.
So people, they only listen or comment just to respond and stuff, as opposed to commenting on what they comprehended and stuff. So
Sure.
comprehension, is at an all-time low and stuff. It's like,
And what do you think is driving that, though? That's the thing is like years of my generation, we were literally, come on. Well, how often did we grow up with people wearing shirts saying "Fight the Power"? How often did we, it was Malcolm X for us. It was don't trust the authorities. Second guess everybody and everything. That was our generation. I don't. What happened here? That.
What happened is that the information age made everyone feel as their the dictionary or the source or the source of knowledge, understanding and stuff. So everybody feels like they're super intelligent and stuff because they may have a computer in front of them and stuff, and so we live in the information age and stuff, because it was always said that, people are less intelligent because of lack of knowledge and stuff, right? In education or whatnot and stuff, you know what I'm saying? So, but it's showing that is not a true statement and stuff, because here we are in the information age and we just went through a pandemic and stuff, and one of the main things was that we had knowledge at the tip of our fingers by being able to access. The accessing of knowledge was right at the tip of our fingers. And nobody couldn't tell you ish.
Yeah.
Nobody could tell you nothing what was going on and stuff. It was just a whole bunch of people that conjecture that this is what it is and this is what it is, and all of this information exists, but still on a practical level, no one could tell you what was going on and stuff. So to answer your question, part of the problem is that we live in a floodgate of information with no application.
So, that man, can I just snag that from you? Because that is a floodgate of information with no application. And the man spits bars in. By the way, when we talk like this on the phone, Akil, this is what Akil does. He drops bars. He's a marketing department on his own. He has given me so many slogans. Good fucking God, man. Truth. Speak the truth here.
So that's what I feel is the problem.
Well, I appreciate that outlook, and I appreciate what you're telling people, because that's basically what I've been here talking about, where the overload of information has gotten people to be able to grab whatever piece they want, it seems like. And this is just my take on it, is you can take whatever piece you want, and most people are most easily directed towards the fear side because it's just easier to consume, And at the end of the day, it's just one of those things that folks, well, when they say, hold on a second, let me make sure I got the speaker on. I think I need to get the speaker on here. Hold on. I just don't. Yep. Hold on. Sorry. Okay. Yep. No. Okay. It's fine. See what happens. Live tech, folks. Live tech. In fact, I'm going to move you down just to make sure that the the microphone gets you. I don't want people to miss anything you're saying. So.
No, that's all right.
All right. So, by the way, can you hear the beat on that side?
No, I can't hear anything.
Oh, are you watching YouTube?
No, I'm on what's this Facebook?
Oh, you're on the Facebook? Okay, cool. Yeah. That turns off everything. That's what's happening on my phone too. So, all right, yeah. Anyways, folks, just know this is live. This is like how we're talking if we're just at home or something like that. So that's also why I don't have visual on.
I seen what you had on Facebook though. It looked good though.
Oh, thank you.
I mean on YouTube.
Oh, did you see the card I made for you? I did pull that up just after our conversation too, man.
No, I gotta go back and look at that and stuff. Right?
Yeah, if you just scroll over, I got you with your killer, the Akil with the really good writing on it, the good logo. Yeah. Okay, you saw the card. Okay, cool. That's what we do here, man. We celebrate and we support folks out there. Which, by the way, Akil has his own YouTube page. He's got 15,000 subscribers. Let's get him more. He has not taken advantage of his ability to make money off of it, folks. So know that, and know that his message is equal to his music, and you can go to him if you don't like what you're hearing from me. You can go to him. And he has a whole other message of his own. And most importantly, it's a message that comes from wisdom, experience, travel around the world, being in the business. And I tell you, when you get advice from this man, it's quantifiable. It's not just accidental. It's because he's seen the up and down of everything you can do if you're in the music business. And then add life and spirituality and belief, because this is a man who's gone through an arc of belief. Just so y'all know, my friend here prays 5 times a day, and he has an arc of that of experience and finding on that too. So we can talk about that in a minute, because I think I feel like that plays into this Tupac craziness too. I think that some of that stuff, like people's misunderstanding of you, your background, I think that plays into it too, and so they see something. How do you feel about that? Just as a segue into that.
Well, yeah, just being conscious and knowledgeable and stuff, and coming from that background and stuff, since high school, listen to the Public Enemies, like you mentioned, and stuff, like the Powers and all that stuff, coming into that knowledge and understanding and stuff, anyone that's my age, around my age and stuff, we will all have the same understanding, so to speak, or whatnot and stuff, what I'm saying, or at least, be, in the know of that, time frame, especially if you're involved in hip-hop, such as, I was or whatnot and stuff, so, it goes hand in hand, to mention Malcolm X and, Cool Herc and stuff,
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like, it's all inclusive, with what hip-hop is and stuff, coming from a conscious mind state and stuff, as well as, one that's about knowledge of self and knowing who you are. Definitely me being, a man of color, a black man, and living in America and stuff, so speaking about, our conditions and stuff, every black man, of that age and, younger or older and stuff, we basically be having the same experiences and stuff,
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? So it's how those experiences may be, teetered out and stuff, what I'm saying, based upon, your level of understanding on how to teeter it out and stuff, and how to, take it in and put it out or whatnot. So me being, like I said, around that age and stuff, I was a part of I was the president of the Black Student Union in high school and whatnot and stuff.
Oh, okay, this is a great sidestep. What high school did you go to, Akil? Where did you go to high school?
I went to Manual Arts High School in Los Angeles. So, the most hoodest high school, you know what I'm saying? Like, as if anybody knows, saying? I'm not saying the most hooded, but you know, it's one of those schools that many people didn't want to go to and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like because they figured it was a one particular way, but it wasn't even really like that and stuff. You know what I'm saying? But you, it's on Vermont in 42nd, 41st and stuff. If anybody wants to know and stuff, and you can go, you know,
check it out.
And books and see what year I went from 86, 85 to 88 and stuff, you know. So 3 years I played on the football team, you know.
You have friends circles.
Yeah. And manual art is not a performance art.
Yeah, no.
So people like, you know, because I get that with the TUPAC, they're like, see, he went to manual arts. See, like he went to an art school, like no.
Nope.
Just look up what a manual art is.
Okay, hold on, Akil. I went to SOCES and Loyola Village Conservatory for the Fine and Performing Arts. So when they do this thing where it's like, oh, you went to no, I went to a performing arts. I went to SOCES, not even LACES.
Right.
You know?
No, I went to a manual art.
Yeah.
You know, manual art is like auto mechanics and electronics and you know.
I hate to make this joke, but that's why they called it manual. They just take the E out of that. They were just trying to hint.
Hands-on, you know, experience and stuff. You know what I'm saying?
But
I was a sport. I was an athlete and stuff. So you know, as well as I was rapping, then you know, and involved in hip hop breaking and stuff. You know.
Hey, that's another thing, by the way. Can I just bring that up because that is a great little segue. Pac wasn't a breakdancer. No. He wouldn't have been caught dead. Tell me something. In the culture of your neighborhood, the guy that Pac was, would he have been caught dead with a piece of cardboard and some zipper pants?
I mean, you know, I can't say, you know, like I'm saying, we're all around the same ages and stuff. He's a year younger than me and stuff, but we all had the same experiences and stuff. So, you know, a gang member taught me how to break dance and stuff. So,
this is true, right?
All these things were inclusive in, you know, in the hood and stuff. But what you're saying and stuff, you know, is that, you know, I never seen Tupac break. You know what I'm saying? I knew he was a dancer or whatnot and stuff, you know what I'm saying, for Digital Underground or whatnot and stuff, but that was a different type of dance and stuff, you know. That wasn't, you know, he didn't do, you know, he wasn't a breaker. I never seen Tupac break before and stuff. There's no footage of Tupac breaking, but there's plenty of footage of I Killed the MC breaking.
I've got some. I've got a lot.
Look up the Freshest Kid and stuff, you know what I'm saying? I'm in the Freshest Kid and stuff, you know what I'm saying? It's a documentary about, you know, the origin of b-boy and breaking and stuff, so.
Yep.
You know, it's well known and stuff, you know.
And let's just go through that. I mean, that's the weird thing about this, man. There's so much documented footage of you from the early 90s. And you know, people won't know this, but there was a couple of like underground places in LA that you could see hip hop, or you had to go to a, you know.
Yeah, Good Life Cafe, the Good Life Cafe and stuff. I mean, there's a performance that one of the first Jurassic 5 performances and stuff when we wasn't even called Jurassic 5.
Yeah, when it was what's the original names of the organization? Sorry, just so people can know.
Rebels of Rhythm. I was a part of the Rebels of Rhythm, and Charlie Tuna, Cut Kimmis, and Mark 7 was a part of Unity Committee. So we done a song together. Cut Kimmis had a beat. He liked our old school flavor of the Rebels of Rhythm and stuff. So he was like, yo, I got this old school beat. I think y'all would sound good on this and stuff. So we put our verse on it, and then he was like, yo, what do you think about Charlie and Mark hopping on this and stuff, you know what I'm saying? So they had like an old school style too, but it was more like Run DMC-ish, and ours was a little bit older, you know, like more
refined. You know? Yeah, you guys had definitely a more refined comparative sound, especially and in your lyrics too. It's clear that.
Right. right? And so it's a combination. It was a combination of those two that made Jurassic 5 and stuff, you know, these two different styles and whatnot. But this one particular song that we did and stuff, once we recorded it and stuff, we was like, man, our next phase was like, we want to perform it at the Good Life and stuff, you know what I'm saying? Because that was the place that you would premiere all your music and stuff, you know, every Thursday and stuff. You write a song and stuff, you're ready for Thursday. You want to go there and test it out.
Hey, so describe, I'm sorry, my audience might not know what the Good Life was or what it was. And let me just say, if you're not familiar with what was going on in hip hop in the 90s in LA, you couldn't have a venue that did hip hop, right? You just did, you know, you had your venues and stuff, but one of the things was that, you know, LA in the early 90s period and stuff, you know what I'm saying, coming from the late 80s, became popular because of NWA. Oh yeah. So the moniker of what California or Los Angeles rap was basically, you did gangster rap and stuff. You know what I'm saying? They never looked at us as, you know, doing anything other than that, because that's what, you know, became popular media wise and stuff, you know. But the thing was that in LA, you know, it was popular, but I'm sorry to cut you off. It was popularized, and I remember you showing me this, and it has since come up, by the way, as a formative example of the introduction of hip hop to the white nation. But Akil, his famously backstage, had a 60 minutes video that he loves to show people that is so crazy, folks. I'm sorry. So this it's basically the salesmanship of 1980s hip hop to the corporate community via 60 minutes. This is one of the greatest examples of early, like, here, white people, here, take this black community's item and now spin it and take it away. So I'm sorry. You know. PowerPoint. Yeah. Platform for the alternative of gangster rap and stuff for those people that didn't do that style of rap, as well as we had gangster rappers there. Snoop Dogg even came there and stuff. It was an open mic cafe. It was an open mic. Not just an open mic cafe. It was by day. It was a vegan. It was a vegan store. Whose owner I used to remember. I used to know her name. You know her name though, probably, right? You remember her name? Yeah. Well, I know. Well, the one that I don't know the owner and stuff. But I knew the one that do it. Her name's B Hall and stuff. B Hall. So B Hall, you know. So she had a night there, and this was an open mic for different artists to come and, you know, showcase your talents and stuff. So like. It began maybe like about 91, somewhere around there, late 90, 91. Makes sense. Whatnot and stuff. It went on up until like probably like about 95 or something like that and stuff, you know. But this was the spot that you can come showcase your talent and stuff. So this one, after we did this song and stuff, we was like, yo, this is tight, sounds good and stuff. Let's go test it out at the Good Life and stuff. So sick. We tested it out on September the 15th, 1994. I love you know the exact date. I love and I know the exact date because there's a documentary about the Good Life. It's called This Is the Life by Ava DuVernay. Ava DuVernay is if you got the link, if you pull up my YouTube and put it in the chat, I'm sure the audience will go check it out. Yeah, Ava DuVernay directed that?
Ava
Sorry.
DuVernay, yeah, she's a known film producer right now.
King. You know. Martin Luther King, right? That's the lady.
Exactly. But she was an MC at the time too.
That's amazing.
At the Good Life and stuff. So this is why she even did the documentary and stuff, because she definitely knew about it and stuff. So she was able to. They gathered all this footage and stuff, you know, of different MCs and different times and stuff, and, you know, did her best job, which was a great job that she did to showcase in what you were saying. What was this like in the 90s and stuff? Like, what was it like in LA in the 90s at an underground open mic spot that was like no other place, where all of this talent was being ushered in and stuff, you know, from
Yeah.
you know Volume 10s to Freestyle Fellowship to you know different peoples and Ahmad and stuff. And,
Yeah, and wasn't Trey there at the time at some points, and lots of the folks that were out of the LA scene or the Bay Area scene would come down and visit.
No, definitely. Like this was the place. Like if you had skills and you had talent, and you know, even if you, like I said, you was a gangster, right? You know what I'm saying? Even Snoop came through and stuff before Death Row days and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like this was the place that you come showcase your skills and stuff. So like I said, I gave that date and stuff because there's footage on this documentary. And so, you know, back in the days, how you have on the footage and stuff, you know, if you videotaping and stuff, it's going to show you the date and stuff. So you can see.
That's right. On the VHS tapes or the DV tapes, there's always if you left it up because you didn't know how to turn it off.
Exactly. 9:15, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
94 and stuff, you know. And so, the reason why I say this and stuff is because if someone, you know, would just go look up, where was Tupac at this time?
Exactly.
So I went and looked it up and stuff, and on 9/14/94, he was being arraigned in Detroit, in Michigan and stuff for something that he did, you know, an assault on police or something like this. Not the one that's in Atlanta, not the assault in Atlanta.
No, an earlier one when he was actually.
This is something that was going on. So, you know, the whole thing is that, you know, like, you can't be in two places at the same time and stuff.
No.
You know what I'm saying? As well as, you know, for us to be on stage and stuff, you know, and nobody would not say, hey, that's Tupac and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, it's clear that.
I mean, the fact that you let me just take it back a couple steps because now that you mentioned it, Akil's mentioning that he's in Detroit at the time, 1994, and this is a great point. This is a great point to kind of start this conversation about.
Tupac is in Detroit at the time,
Yeah.
right?
Tupac was in Detroit at the time. Where are you at the time in 1994? Just make point to point. This is where I'm going to take it apart as you tell me this story, and we're going to take it all the way to the now. I'm glad you brought it up because we're going to bring it all the way to the now because I have a little place in this story too. Back in the late 90s, as somebody who worked for the DPG, and I was on the bus and in the armored vehicle with Nate and Daz and Dog and Priest and you know and the Fruit of Islam, and I was there for a lot of this stuff, and Pac was not around at the time because they'd already had beef, and actually in '97, by the time I got there, he was dead already. So although I think it was in '96 when I worked for Warren G, I did see in front of me and have him pass by me at the House of Blues in LA during a very incredible evening of craziness. '96, by the way. So by '96, at a Warren G show with the entire Dog Pound, Pac was not present. Okay, so he was elsewhere, and Biggie was present. Biggie came up and said hello and held court with Warren G and the rest of the Dog Pound in 1996. So I would just say that there's a lot of convolution of ideas here about what was going on backstage. But one of the things that's interesting is that, Akil, you're here in LA, right? During 1994, 1996, basically. You guys didn't even start to really tour as Jurassic 5 until 97? Yeah.
Until 97. Yeah, 97. That's when we started, you know, that was our first time going overseas and stuff, was in 97 and stuff. We did like little local tours, like, you know, in LA, but as far as like, you know, we didn't, you know. And then we attempted, I think that was 95, we attempted to go to we did go to Indiana and stuff, you know, but the show never happened and stuff. We was there, but it never happened and stuff. But that was, you know, that was it. That was the extent of that. But yeah, like 97 is when, you know, we kicked it off. But we kicked off our career as recording artists and stuff in 94, 95 and stuff. You know what I'm saying? We cut by putting out that 12-inch, the song that we did, that we performed, that we actually did, is that we end up making a 12-inch of that our own selves and putting it out our own self. It's called Unified Revolution and stuff, you know, and it's just combination of Unity Committee and Rebels of Rhythm and stuff. So there's a play on words and stuff. Because there was no Jurassic 5 at this point. In 95, a label overseas, TBT, solicited us and stuff and wanted to sign us for this for the 12-inch and whatnot and stuff. So long story short, Charlie Tuna's son's mom, one day, she said, listening to the song by y'all think y'all sound like the Fantastic Five, but it's more like the Jurassic 5 and stuff. And Charlie
I love this story.
To us, at a rehearsal, and he was like, man, I was messing around with Denise and stuff, and she said something funny and stuff, but it really wasn't funny. It was like, yo, what if we became a group and stuff, you know what I'm saying? What do you think about this name and stuff, you know what I'm saying? So he said the name Jurassic 5. It's like, yeah, that's cool, but in my mind, I'm a diehard Rebels of Rhythm. I'm from the Rebels of Rhythm and stuff, and I'm like, yo, that's cool, but like we wasn't, a group at this time and stuff. So maybe like 2 weeks later, when the TBT Records, wanted to sign us and stuff, so we would correspond back with my man Chappie from that worked at the label and stuff, who was responsible for getting us signed there and stuff. He hit us up one day and he's like, yo, man, they really want to do this deal and stuff, you know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna get in trouble and stuff, man, because what's the name of the group, man? He's like, you know what I'm saying? Like there was no name.
Wait, so you got caught up? That's I hadn't heard this portion of it. I didn't hear that there was a I knew the rest of this, but I never heard that there was a deadline that forced you guys to use that.
He didn't because he never asked us because on the 12-inch it just said Unified Revolution and stuff, but he
Hey, side note, by the way, hey folks, that is an incredibly rare piece of vinyl out there. That's an incredibly rare tape out there, and
yellow label.
Yeah, and this is very important. The original was yellow. Yeah, so the original. But I bring this up because the two things are important about The Good Life and about this TBT, and the important things are they tell you, the audience, and I'm going to talk to the audience for a second here, Akil. They tell you the audience where Akil was at what time and who he was dealing with and what he was focusing on and where his voice is. And if you listen to that just alone at the start and compare it to what Tupac was doing exactly at the same time, you'll find that there isn't just a slightly disparate difference, but there is no way that a man who was recording out of a home studio with his homies could have been elsewhere at a multi-million-dollar recording studio recording with a group of people that he didn't know, much less on a deal that he wished he had. So let's just put that out there. I mean, at the time period, you didn't have a deal. You're an independent. Tupac had a deal.
Exactly.
Tupac had a movie.
It was the reason why we put out the 12-inch, because we couldn't get a deal and stuff. You know what I'm saying? So it was the alternative of that as well. It was definitely revolutionary to make your own 12-inch or whatnot and stuff, but nothing unique and stuff, because you had people like Wu-Tang had just put out something in '93 and stuff, their own 12-inch and stuff, and then prior to that, you had NWA and stuff, you know what I'm saying, and then prior to that, you had Too Short and stuff, you know what I'm saying, and then so it wasn't unique and stuff, but it was the route that most people take, that when you can't get in the industry by conventional means and stuff, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So this wasn't a conventional means situation and stuff. So like I said, the guy, he said, what's the name of the group and stuff? And we was like, Jurassic 5. So this is 1995. So Jurassic 5 became a group in 1995 and stuff, but we put out the 12-inch in 94, and so this same 12-inch TBT picked it up and put it out again. This is 1995 and stuff.
Okay, so in 95. So, but when did you guys take the picture around the stump in downtown?
Oh no, that was
way later, right?
That was downtown. That was in on San Vicente and stuff, you know, in La Brea. But that was like that didn't happen till that was 99 2000. That was like
Okay.
2000.
Okay. No, and I bring this up because it confirms what I'm trying to link here.
Yeah.
Okay. So if you just look at pictures. Just look at pictures. Just look at pictures, and just look at release dates and timing, and listen to voices. I'm just going to draw this line right here, because we're going to talk all the way around this and come back around to this, because that picture doesn't just have pictures. There's photos, there's video, there's all sorts of stuff around that moment, releases, audio, you name it, that supports that moment in time.
Right. Yeah, you would have to, you know, anybody that does research and stuff, and this is part of what you were asking earlier and stuff, like what's the problem with the, you know, what's the problem with this age and what's going on and stuff, you know what I'm saying? And it's a lack of understanding, and it's a lack of respect for how things, you know, are done and stuff, you know what I'm saying? So if you consider yourself a researcher, you know, or somebody that does investigation, somebody that you know seeks, you know what I'm saying, and does their you know, or a detective, and stuff, you know what I'm saying? Like, so if you're doing any type of research, you got what's called field research, where you're actually going to physically to a place to go look at the surroundings, to go look at, you know, like if, you know, someone was killed and stuff, you know what I'm saying, the scene of the crime and stuff, you know what I'm saying? Then you're going to talk to witnesses and stuff, and then you're going to survey the land, and, you know, and forensics and stuff, you know what I'm saying? It's actual physical things that you're doing and stuff, you know. The problem with today is that a person will consider themselves to say, I done my research and stuff, and all that research really consists of is you looking at another person's video and what they said, and you calling this research and stuff, you know what I'm saying? You know, but all you did was just regurgitate what another person has already said and stuff, you know, and even that person didn't even go and do any type of physical field research and stuff. So what's happening is people are not doing the needed research to feed out, you know, what it is that they're trying to investigate or whatnot and stuff.
So I think my my phone just died, folks, because of temperature. Akil, you still there? Technicalities, folks. Temperature. Hold on, we will bring this back. We'll bring this back, folks. Trust me, I will get it back to order. Hold on. When your phone dies mid-conversation, that means I gotta go back to a different situation here for a second, folks. Sorry, in the middle of the interview, of course. Can't do anything about it when the technical spectacles die. Akil, do me a favor and call into the chat. Call into the of course, right in the middle of it getting good. The phone dies. See how that is? Okay, let me see if I can. I can't get into any of these things without. Hold on a second. Let's see if you can call me back, Akil, and I'll take the. Hold on a second. Let me take the phone symbol off. All right, folks. Well, just as it was getting good, my phone started a problematic situation. All right, stand by, folks. Stand by. We will get this back online, I promise you. And I will get Akil on the phone. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna pull this out for a second. We're gonna go dark for just a brief second, folks. All right. the show. There we are. All right. Hey, so you know when my shit overheats, folks, that shit got real. Shit got really real around here. I'm sorry. Give me 1 second because you're not fully on with this yet. I just want to make sure we're all put back together, and also that my stuff doesn't overheat on you. All right, cool. So let me get you back in the scene. And there. Oh nope, don't add your number there. All right, that's not it. Hold on 1 second. I'm all discombobulated for 12 reasons. Oh, I know what I can do here. Cool. I'm gonna flip this up real quick. Where are we? I got 12 inputs over here. Okay, if you saw what I'm doing down on this table up here, you'd laugh at me because I have so much stuff going on. So picture in picture. Let me get out of that. And you're going to see my phone for a second, folks, although I'm not going to be doxing myself. It's just my pretty background picture. See how cool my phone looks? All right. Don't you wish you had my phone? No, you don't. All right, so that's not it. And let's get rid of the iPad image. Yep, that's that. All right. Now you're back. We're back on. What up, Akil? Thanks for sticking around and not, technical live stuff, folks. Later on, I'll edit this all together so it doesn't look crazy.
Word
So
up.
Hey.
I can't see you, but that's okay.
Oh, am I gone from the camera?
Yeah, your feed came back.
Oh no. If I'm not on camera, it's okay because my phone is actually feeding the feed back through the system.
No, it's all good. It's all good and stuff. So back to what I was saying is that people are not doing the proper research or whatnot and stuff, and they consider themselves researching, but it's so elementary.
It's not actual.
It's not. Yeah, no, not at all and stuff. It's if you were actually doing some field research and stuff, then you would know these things about Jurassic 5 and stuff. One thing, there was this woman, and this is where a lot of this stems from and stuff. From what I see and stuff, the source of.
Oh yeah, okay. Wait. I'm sorry. I don't want you to jump too quickly. So okay, I've got a couple main points. This is one of the reasons why I got on late today because I wanted to make sure we built this case clearly, that we set our premise first, and then we gave concise timeline examples here. Because I look, audience, when you watch this, I want you to understand something. I'm not just concerned and pissed and bothered by this. I've been directly confronted by this myself because I'm apparently the Zionist puppet master and I know all the secrets, I know who everybody is. I've been hit up, not a lot, not like Akil by any means, but the fact that anybody hit me up at any time like that says that there is some serious weirdness going on in that who found, how did they find me? Why did they find me? Why did they think that I'm involved in this other than just working my job? Well, because they think Akil and Charlie and you said Cut too and Newmark and everybody is somebody they aren't. Like there's some genetics program. So this is some crazy stuff. So when I say this, it's scary as a real person to know that your friend has some really truly disturbed person out there or people that don't think he's a human or don't think he's him or don't think he's
don't think who I am, who I was born as and stuff, and that's the thing, some, like I'm saying, this woman claims that I'm her cousin, so she claims to be Tupac's cousin, and
we've met her though. I met her. She came to Philadelphia, dude. No, she came to Philadelphia. Remember the TLA show?
No, she never came.
No. She never came backstage. She never picked up her tickets, but she was outside, bro, because she's on film. Don't you remember she took that film down? She came. I saw her. I just didn't know it was her. She never picked up her tickets because we invited her. I remember that very distinctly. We put an offer out there. Yo, you think this is true? Come meet us. She was outside, and we didn't know it was her, and she filmed. And later on, I saw her film. Because I remember looking at it at the time going, oh, shit, she was here,
Well, I don't even, Aaron, I don't even remember none of this because she's from Baltimore and stuff, so
yeah. No, it was at the TLA show. I vividly remember this because I remember you saying, hey, we got to put somebody on the list. And I asked you about it. And she said, yeah, she thinks I'm Tupac. And I was like, no, that one. And then she never showed up. And you're like, see, she never showed up. But later on, I saw footage and I was out, I hang out. Okay, so folks understand when you're a tour manager or production manager, you keep an eye on everything. And so you're kind of everywhere. And so I was out front a good portion of the night and we had our trailer out there. TLA used to let you have the trailer out on 6th Street. So I was out there while she was filming, and I realized later on when I saw her crazy ass rant, that crazy long one that she had up, remember, where she talks about how she's the cousin of Tupac and all that shit. She had.
Yeah, but that's no.
Am I confusing? Am I confusing people?
Yeah.
See, there's more than one, folks.
Yeah, because she's from Baltimore, and so she in this one said I had to work, so that's why she said she never showed. She
Okay.
never showed up and stuff. You know what I'm saying? But
Then it was the other one. It was the other one on her porch. The one who does the crazy rant on the porch.
Yeah, exactly. So this is the same woman and stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So she was doing an interview with some guys from overseas, and so this is the one that basically she said like she's Tupac's cousin, and Tupac was part of the CIA, and she is the one that started this whole narrative concerning that and stuff. So the narrative that is out there that everybody is regurgitating, and this is what I'm talking about as far as doing some type of field research and stuff, you know what I'm saying? Is that everybody is regurgitating the same message and the same thing that came from this one woman and stuff, you know what I'm saying? You can tell nobody has done any type of, within 5 years, nobody's came up with anything other than what was already said and stuff, so you would have further information about a particular thing if this was true and stuff, you know what I'm saying? But you all you're doing is just keep regurgitating and rehashing.
And what is it that they're regurgitating, by the way? Because this is the thing is I one of the things that came to my attention, and the reason I reached out to Akil at all this week is, and Akil and I have been friends for a long time, so I'll just so the audience knows that, separately, occasionally we'll just call each other out of the blue and have a 4-hour conversation about politics, religion, you name it, And so it occurred to me in the last couple of weeks as I'm doing my work, by the way, speaking of research, both in real life and off, I've been doing this work on the white nationalist pipeline and the undertow of hate that's kind of being permeated and just allowed on the net in this mental prison that people are selling through these shows like Fresh and Fit. I don't know if you're familiar with any of this, but, like Sarah Garvey. You know Sarah Garvey. So Sarah Garvey has been taken down by his former colleague, Just Pearly Things, who brought Nick Fuentes, who's a white nationalist, on, and it blew a whole bunch of people up because she mostly has black people that work for her. Anyways, this is far off from the topic of what we're talking about, but the point I was trying to make is these narratives that get flipped out of control are that people take little tiny narratives. Because in Pearly's case, she was spinning this yarn that's gotten around the internet. She was spinning this yarn that slavery wasn't so bad. There was a false narrative thing, And of course, as we all know, she wouldn't say that about anything Jewish because she'd be canceled fucking immediately. So she felt comfortable, even though she has black employees, African employees, to spin this yarn about slavery wasn't so bad. Its roots isn't. Anyways, I don't want to take us off the topic, but it's this narrative of little pieces of her taking Alvin Haley's misquote from something she didn't even understand, she hadn't read, she'd never seen Roots. And this is the whole point. This person who has a talk show who had like over 1 million followers, never seen Roots, never read the book, never did the research, never did the footage. She's out there, and people are offering her the research. Sarah Garvey hands her the book, the quantified, the book of books, by the way, about African American heritage, culture, and the way that it was colonized from the point of the UK European colonizer, not the US slavery. Pre. Let's get the background right. And what does she do? This girl leaves it on the table and reads Thomas Howell's book over and over. And so which, if people don't know, unless you're like a conspiratory crazy man like myself or Akil, you won't know who this freak is. You wouldn't have read him because he's just such a crackpot. He believes that slavery wasn't so bad.
Yeah, and I had never ever even heard of the guy.
Sowell. Sorry, not Howell. I called him Mr. Howell, not Sowell.
Yeah,
Sorry.
Sowell. Yeah, Thomas Sowell.
Sowell.
Stuff, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Until one of my Caucasian guys, friends and stuff, you know, someone that I don't even talk to anymore and stuff, because they were so busy in trying to push this narrative of this guy and stuff, and the things that you're saying and stuff, you know. So that was the first time I had even heard of this Thomas Sowell.
Oh, white people know who he is. Are you kidding?
No, they definitely know who he is and stuff, and they will try if you get into a conversation with a white person and stuff that's on that page. This is the first person they're going to try to throw up in my face and stuff. You know what I'm saying? So they will talk about, you know, so just from a background standpoint and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not what is it, conservative or liberal?
Yeah.
Was that right?
Yeah. By the way, so just so everybody's clear, Akil and I don't sit on the same page politically, religiously, in a lot of ways personally, but that does not mean that he and I are not friends.
Yeah. I mean, you know, I'm not mad at a person because they want to choose a particular side and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just don't like to be boxed in and be forced to, like, I either have to accept either or and stuff. You know what I'm saying? So my point about this is that I'm not a Democratic or Republican and stuff. You know what I'm saying? And I honestly don't give a damn about either or and stuff. But I'm not so bent on, like, oh, you're this, so you know I don't mess with you because you're that. And stuff, you know what I'm saying? So, but people try to want to place you in
Well, I call it, by the way, just because, well, you're on my show, so I call it a mental prison. And as you well know, we've had this discussion in the back of the tour bus. We've seen it with our own eyes. We've seen the iconoclasty and all this stuff. So he knows what I'm about to say. I have let the audience in on the mental prisons that we build inside of the obelisks that the Ben looks down upon and crushes. So I mean, and by the way, this is a metaphor, people. That is a physical metaphor that we see everywhere around the world. Akil and I have seen it in New Zealand, in Dublin, Ireland, in places you wouldn't imagine it is.
Right.
You know.
Right.
Anyways, sorry.
Right.
So.
No, go ahead.
No. So I was just saying, is my audience is generally familiar with the idea of these prisons that are being manipulated to lock us into these thoughts.
Yeah, want to paint you in these corners and stuff, and you know, and paint this thing. So you know, me having these conversations with these people, and they say, "Oh, Thomas, so," and this, and I'm like, a lot of the things that he's purporting and stuff is basically all the Democrats are this, that, and the other, and you know, the liberals and stuff. You know what I'm saying? And for me, my political hero and cultural hero is Malcolm X.
Yeah.
And Malcolm X been talking about all of the things that they try to throw Thomas Sowell in my face with.
Right? You know, like, he profit. If I gotta say, hey, can I just interject here? I'm sorry, but isn't it amazing how both? Well, first off, Martin Luther King said it many times in his sermons, and people miss it, and says more extreme points of view about this of how they will whitewash your history to the point that you believe that you're one with them, and he, you know, and Malcolm X was way even more clear about that they are going to take it from you and turn the TV off.
Yeah, he's been pushing, you know, about the white liberals and stuff, you know what I'm saying? And that's their whole thing, is the Thomas Sowells and all these people that, you know, what's the other guy name from LA?
Which one? There's so many of them now, dude.
Larry Elder.
Oh yeah, Larry Elder. Remember him? No, he's been taken down now because he did something wrong to a white lady.
Oh wow, that's interesting. So yeah, but those,
you know,
those people, it's black. It's those black people that these white people always pull up in conversation as they're the models that I should be following.
Yeah.
And you like how dare you even try to attempt to give me a model to follow after and stuff. You know what I'm saying? I have my own heroes. I have my own, you know.
Yeah, but hey, hold on a second. No, according to Soul, no, you didn't. You borrowed the Europeans' models and your language and your culture. But you didn't have culture, and you couldn't care for your. And this is, by the way, another one of the lines that killed me when I first started seeing this. You couldn't have possibly cared for yourself. That's why you guys returned to the plantations immediately afterwards.
Yeah. I can't stand, you know, the whole narrative of his conversation and stuff, because, you know, I just look at history from a historical standpoint and stuff. You know, you look at places like Black Wall Street and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Which built
Greenwood, Archer and Pine, the Gap Band. Come on, you know, I worked for Uncle Charlie.
Exactly. Which had so these economic springboards and
Say it again for me. Call it what it is.
These economic springboards and these places of self-determination and just examples of black men and women pulling up their own bootstraps, as so to say, and stuff, you know what I'm saying, and getting down and dirty and doing the work and building our own communities and stuff outside of, here's the key, the welfare system and stuff. Because you see, if anyone that does any type of history, that would know that the welfare system started in 1935 and stuff, right?
Yeah.
So
pre-World War II.
And Black Wall Street, as well as 70 other towns like Black Wall Street, existed in 1920s, in the early 1900s, when there was no welfare system and stuff. So the ideal that black people are motivated behind welfare and this whole time, that whole narrative about the welfare system and stuff, which didn't come into play until the 60s and stuff. So for black people, it already existed, but it existed for white people prior to the Depression and stuff. You know what I'm saying? So it was
for the Appalachians. It was set up for the Appalachians. Just to be certain, for the white, disenfranchised, poor people in the back of the Appalachians who weren't paying taxes.
Up until the 60s and stuff, and so so they're relating history as it relates to blacks turning from Republicans to Democrats from 1957 on to the 60s and stuff, in the 70s, and what's going on today, and all of that is in result of what actually took place as far as integration and all of these different things that were basically the crippling of the black community and stuff. So some of the things that they talk about on the surface level, you know, they have some things right.
Yeah, they seem sensible. They seem sensible, right?
Exactly. But then the core of it and what they're saying and stuff really makes no sense once you break it down and you figure like you're just trying to be like them and stuff, like what you said earlier. Like you just represent that same house Negro and stuff. You know what I'm saying? And I won't call you an Uncle Tom, because we know that Uncle Tom didn't represent what people, you know, label that person to be and stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he got it. By the way, just to sideline you for a second, the audience, if you don't understand what the Uncle Tom is, or the story about the guy who is Uncle Tom, you don't understand that was the undermining of an entire man's life. A house servant who was loyal and educated, who then was turned into the face of hate as an example of a subservient and good
black
servant.
person.
Yes.
Right. That turned against their own race and stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's not, and that wasn't so and stuff. So you get this story that's painted and stuff. So you got the like Larry Elders and them that like you see he put out that was a documentary that was just the last year or something like that. It's us called Uncle Tom and stuff. I don't know if you've seen that.
No. But if you got it, send me the link and I'll share it. By the way, I want to invite you right now because we're talking about this and we would get into this. I want to invite you back in the near future and in the next like maybe week or something, because I'm also going to try to get you on Mike TV, which is more of a wider audience. Obviously, he got real followers watching him, and it's not just something people are going to watch later. But by the way, and just so the audience knows, is they're watching this in replay. The reason that we're doing this is because this conversation has been missing for a while, and I want Akil to take advantage of the fact that he's got an incredible posture, position, and voice, and he's got something to say and experience to say it. But it's also, we want to dispel this myth so this gentleman right here can get back up on his platform and leave these people behind him because they're dragging him down. He can't even get on his platform without somebody saying he's somebody he isn't. And it takes away from the messaging of both the music and, it's hard to get above a wave of insanity. And I don't know how to express that other than to say that you end up having to combat it because that's all you end up talking about, right? Am I right? And
someone wants a particular narrative to live, so therefore Akil Dante Gibbons has to die and not be real and be a myth and be a character, be relegated to a character, in order for their narrative to live.
Yeah. Hey, by the way, real quickly, I'm sorry, Akil, I gotta cut you real quickly. Just if you say the D word, remember what we were talking about earlier about that censorship craziness? You got to use the word deleted.
Right.
Please. So I apologize. I don't mean to correct your language in any way, shape, or form. You can drop the M. I'm sorry, audience. Correct me if I'm wrong. I could sit here and drop the N-bomb all day long. But hey, Akil, don't say that D word. If you're gonna say it, it's deleted.
I'm not.
No, I mean like the word. That's what they want you to use instead of the word.
Yeah. No,
so,
I'm not gonna say it. Yeah.
Oh no, you're good. You're good. But how crazy is that? Like you and I could drop M-bombs all day.
But can't say that and stuff. But like I'm saying, they want to relegate. They want to relegate. My life to their narrative and stuff. So where I don't exist and stuff. Like I was telling you, I seen on a comment where a person was like, "We're gonna get his DNA and this, that, and the other." So on another comment, I seen a guy that had been pushing this narrative and stuff, what I'm saying, who really I made a mistake by responding to the guy, but I figured the guy was from LA, so I figured, he's more closer to the source to find out. So that's the only reason why I even entertained him and answered some questions that he was answering and stuff, but he just went on to be like, well, I didn't even look at the questions, or I just want, so you had people that were getting high off of just
being involved.
Just thinking that they're talking to Tupac and stuff, you know what I'm saying? Like they're getting off on me even responding to them and stuff. You understand what I'm saying?
Oh, so, yeah. No, I'm hearing it is. It's just that it's okay. So I got to side to the audience for a second. So this is one of the things, by the way, and by the way, Akil, I'm sorry to sideline our conversation for a brief second. So remember your thought, because it's very important. I point this out to my audience. This is one of those things that goes on in the DGG, in the Pearly verse, in the Fresh and Fit universe, in the No Jumper universe, in the. It's this little bifurcated, I believe it, I can fulfill my knowledge base by this little bit of nothing, and then I can regurgitate it and keep spinning it, and it doesn't matter about the effect on the actual human. Because it's so much fun to take part, and you get the adrenaline and the oxytocin. And this is the thing is what they're doing is they're addicted to a predictable response. You and I both know that when I'm designing lighting, when I'm setting up the audio, when I'm doing the display, we are thinking about perspective, perception, and the way the audience takes it in and goes along with it, right? But in this case, it's more insidious audience. It's more insidious because it's someone taking advantage of your limited echoplex system, your little bubble, your little, whatever you want to call it, your mental prison that you can walk right out of, you know, and they want you to throw your diamond-covered personal poop at somebody else in their prison so that you don't look up. And this is the thing that comes up over and over and over and over again in this, is the self-propagating BS.
Right.
But it has an impact, and it also has a personal response on that person, on the thumb jockey. The thumb jockey on the other side of the keyboard is getting an oxytocin response. Is getting it, instead of jerking off or having sex, they're getting a sex response out of fucking with your life, Akil.
Yeah, no, definitely. And it's like, yo, like, wait a minute, hold up. Like, man, you're getting off on me responding to you and stuff, and I'm trying to get points across and stuff, you know what I'm saying? And I'm thinking that I'm being, you know, intelligent enough to be able to get you to convince you, not even convince you, but just to say something that would make you at least jar your thought and stuff, like, oh, okay, well, I am in LA. Let me go to his high school. Let me go figure out, and you see someone and you like, yo, you're not even willing.
Go to Lamert Park. Go to Lamert Park. You're gonna find somebody.
Yeah, you're not. They're not even. He wasn't even. You know, in the know to be able to go do that and stuff, because he's so high off of, like what you're saying, is that you're so high off thinking that, you know, I'm responding to you, so maybe, and then it's making him think that, well, since he's responding to me, then I must be right with the narrative that I am pushing. So now you're going further to the left, and stuff, you know, within this conversation and stuff, to the point, like I said, I seen this person comment to someone else, and they was like, you know, what will probably happen is that, because the person that he was talking to, he's like, you think he'll respond? You think he will ever admit that he's on? And he was like, nah, he probably won't. He probably won't never admit that he's Tupac and stuff. What will happen is they'll just kill off him. They'll just kill off that character.
They'll delete him. They'll delete him. Sorry.
And create another character and stuff. They will delete his life and create another character.
So you guys realize what they're saying there? They're treating him like an avatar. They're treating my friend, they're treating this human next to me who has worked his whole life as hard as anybody else, this man who has suffered and troubled and done and been around the world and given people. He's not Tupac, people. And I'm not just screaming this out. Do you realize that he is not an avatar? The man behind me right now on the screen is not made up. He's not a clone. He's not a lizard.
Right.
Look, hey, he'll even tell you, I believe full tilt in the lizard story. This man is not a lizard. I've slept across from him, okay? Is that enough?
Right. And so, so, like what you're saying, like, you know, like they relegated me to a character, and like you said, what are you saying? You just wrote my life off. So he said they will delete me, you know, and come with another character and stuff, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, yo, did you just give a license for someone to delete my life?
Okay, hold right there. I want you to think about this. An audience, I want you to hold this thought after he just said that. Okay? I want this to, I'm gonna drop the music out a little bit. Hold on.
You know?
Because what we're talking about right here is not fictional. It's not imaginary at that point.
No, this is real life. This is real life. And someone just relegated, you just gave a license for someone to take my life. Because and when I'm a real human being that has a real family, that has real people that care and love
and count on and rely on you.
And you just relegated my life to a character. Like so what you're saying is that can be, you know, deleted and another character can come in that person's place and stuff. So whatever my life is and stuff, you know, it's worth nothing to you. And so since it's worth nothing, and you saying that, yo, they can just delete them and then come with another character, I'm like, yo, bro, you just gave somebody a license to do whatever they want to do. He said, no, he said, see, this is the killer part. He said, they will just delete your life and just say a crazy fan did it.
Yeah.
You know, understand what I'm saying? So,
no, absolutely. Hey, man, you're talking to somebody who worked with a young lady named Christina Grimmie. I don't know if you remember this. This is actually before I actually. Oh, it's about it was right before a couple years before I met you. I worked for a lady named Christina Grimmie on where she was on a tour that I was on. A young lady, she had a very promising career, and some stalker right in front of her brother and her mother at the merch booth. 17-year-old girl. The stalker who had been online talking with her and got infatuated and didn't see her as real and thought that she was a lizard person, bro. And he walked right up to her when she said, hey, I'm not, I don't understand you. I feel you scared. And she blocked him. He came to the club that she was performing at, waited until she came out to sign stuff. And he walked up and point blank deleted her with a gun, 17 years old, in front of her mother and brother.
Wow. You know, that's what exactly. So exactly. You understand exactly what I'm saying. And I'm like, yo, did you just, just like.
It's a warrant. It's a warrant that they don't realize. I don't think they realize that's a warrant for some people, because if there's somebody on that edge, and this is the thing, audience, if there's somebody on that edge who's willing to say it, there's another extreme, multiple levels past that, and many, many of them listening.
Yeah, you're talking to somebody else, and y'all discussing my life on a whole other platform. And it ain't even the platform you ain't like you came on my page and you're discussing this. You're on another platform that I just so happen to just discover, and I'm looking at this conversation, and I'm like, yo, bro, you just, you know what I'm saying? You just gave a license for people to do whatever they want to do to me and stuff, you know what I'm saying? So that particular thing and stuff, you know, and I'm gonna have to stop right here, Aaron, because I'm fasting, and so
man, absolutely. I apologize. I forgot. I got you in the middle of Ramadan.
Yeah.
My bad.
But I think this is, a good segue, for people to, to think, leave you something to think and stuff like yo, like I'm a real person. And my life has been threatened and stuff, you know what I'm saying? So regardless of whatever, you want to come up with these conspiracies and say, oh, it's cool, but why wouldn't you want to be known as Tupac and stuff? But the whole thing is that you expecting me to say that I'm someone that some people try to delete.
Yeah.
So why would I be claiming to be that person, and knowing that this person still may have enemies out there and people that want to delete his life or that tried to delete his life or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like why would I come out and say that I am this person to assume all of the things that come with it? Because most people expect, they like, man, you can just take advantage of it. Yeah, but how do you take advantage of a death threat?
Okay, so that's the thing, is, and I want this has been important, because before you leave, and I want to invite you on back later, and I also want to invite you on with Mike TV later on tonight, so we can sit on a panel together. Which a different platform, folks. Mike TV, we're looking at the white nationalist pipeline there with a whole group of educated folks from all different walks of life, and we're taking down somebody who's actually been pushing the pipeline. But separately, Akil, and this is very important before you leave, who stands to benefit from, and we both know that no one actually does, like personally, but who stands to benefit from that kind of behavior and interaction, and even who stands to benefit from the what do they call that, the casualty of war that you are in this situation of the misrepresentation, yada yada? Who stands to Who do you think stands, in your opinion, who stands to benefit in the big meta picture? Because this is the thing that I study.
The one that's monetizing this whole situation. Those that's monetizing this situation, from TikTok to YouTube or whatever social media platform that people are gaining money off of this and stuff. Those people, and so those people and the person that are feeding their conspiratorial appetite.
So would you say like the algorithm and the people who design the algorithm and control the algorithm on the daily have a palpable accountability?
Well, no, not those that control the algorithm, because those people that are taking advantage of it and stuff by putting the content out there and stuff. Those content creators that are gaining some form of monetary gain and stuff. Like right now, like it's about 3-4 million. Someone has like 3-4 million views on TikTok, and I'm not even on TikTok. I just keep hearing about, I'm super trending on TikTok. I'm not even on there because I don't even want to even be confronted.
Well, and you and I, by the way, I also got a side note. He and I are from the generation where like, more than 2 social media platforms, and it gets to the point where you're like, what? I don't know.
Yeah. It's too much. It's like, oh man, like I can be over there and do that, but I'm not saying I'm running from a confrontation.
Yeah.
I'm just saying I'm 5 years in with this.
Yeah.
So and nobody is coming with any type of new information and stuff. So I have said and exhausted everything that I can say concerning, who I am and what I'm about. And the whole thing is that I didn't make the claim, so the onus is not on me to prove anything to anyone and stuff. People say, man, just take a blood test and stuff, and I'm like, do you have Tupac's blood? So I don't understand that, to ask me to take a blood test, and then they say, well, you can get it from his sister and stuff. Man, why I'm not going through any of that. Why would I have to do all this?
No, because they want you to prove a negative. They want you to prove a negative, and that's not going to happen.
And it's no way and stuff, because as soon as, if I was to do something like that, all what's going to be said is fake.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like what I'm saying? This is fake anyway. It's like, so why would I even go do anything like that? Or go get, his DNA. I'm like, do you have Tupac's DNA?
Yeah, and by the way, if somebody has Tupac's DNA, what the fuck are you doing? What the fuck are you doing with Mrs. Shakur's son's DNA?
Yeah, it's like what is the purpose of all these things, that these questions that you're asking me and stuff. So I'm saying, like, I'm tired of even entertaining the idea. You my friend. I only entertained you with this and stuff because you my friend, and I know that you mean well in teetering out this particular thing.
Yeah.
So other than that, man, I'm not enthused about being on platforms and having to
defend yourself against something that doesn't exist.
Yeah, exactly and stuff. Because I mean, like, whatever you're gonna believe how you want to believe and stuff. Go ahead and say what you want to say. Just don't touch me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Don't, and so, you got my kids' photos, you got my grandmother, my aunts, my mother, you have my stepfather. Like, that's when I realized, like, what does look at his nose, and I'm like, you're talking about my stepfather.
Yeah, he's not even related to you. He's by the way, I met him backstage, right? He's the one I met.
Like stuff like that. Like, what does that matter? Like, are you serious? Like, that's my stepfather.
Yeah. Oh, but hey. So your stepdad is actually a lizard plant who had you convinced that the CIA had started the Hebrew National. Oh, by the way, apparently, and this is where it gets real crazy. And I think we were talking about this earlier. And folks, this is how crazy it gets. People got him mixed up with all kinds of stuff that doesn't relate. They think he's some kind of involved with this and that. But this man next to me is who he seems to be. He's part of Jurassic 5. He's the J5 MC. That's Akil. I know his whole name. Can I say your whole name? Can I say your whole name? This is Akil Dante Givens, folks. Okay, this is Dante Givens. Go look him up, Givens. You can find his high school book, Emmanuel High School, and see he's got short hair in that picture. Doesn't look anything. And if you were on a football team, he was a little ruffian. He'd come kick your ass.
Exactly. I went to Catholic school, St. Rayfield's on 71st in Vermont. I went to Normandy Avenue Elementary on Normandy and Vernon. I went to John Muir Junior High School on Vermont. Man, my whole my whole life is out there. I grew up on 71st, 1111 West 71st Street. It was my grandmother's house where I grew up at and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like there are things out there. I have already put my information out there. Go trace it. Yeah. I'm not going to do the work for you. I did all that for you. You have to go back out there and stuff. You know what I'm saying? So whether you believe it or not and stuff, you know what I'm saying? The onus is not on me. I don't have anything to prove to anyone and stuff, you know. So, you know.
Okay. No, and that's that. Yeah, man, you just summed it up right there. And I don't want you to even go on and think about it any further. And so this is where I want you to take this moment to take the step past it, and let's talk about your platform and what you're doing and how your word means something to the community and how you should be. And I'm gonna say this outright. I want to see Akil back online, like streaming and talking to the audience and taking phone calls. I want to see you, sir, out there inspiring the youth, because we need you, man. We need you.
Definitely. I will definitely, you know, I'm just putting some things together right now and stuff. You like to say my YouTube channels. I Kill the MC TV and stuff. You know, you can catch me on IG. I Kill the MC. On Facebook, I Kill the MC. I Kill the MC. Everything and stuff. You know, is where you can find me and whatnot and stuff. So you know, I will be I run the Jurassic 5 page and stuff. So if you see the Jurassic 5 page and you see posts and stuff, it's me and stuff. So you know,
hit 'em up.
I'm accessible. I'm accessible, and you know, I'm always doing music and being creative, and you know, that's what I do and stuff. And you know, speaking out and you know, give you different topics and stuff to dwell into, like how Aaron is saying and stuff. You know, and I'm definitely for the youth, because I know the youth are the future and stuff. So that's what, you know, I'm about and stuff. And
well, man, tell them about the No Compromise Coalition, man. Tell them about the No Compromise.
Yeah, definitely No Compromise and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, you know, too many people capitulate and stuff. You know, so you know, No Compromise is something that I came up with an idea and stuff. I Am Somebody is another thing, you know.
Yeah.
Pushing stuff, you know what I'm saying? Because people, you know, it's like, oh, Black Lives Matter and White Lives Matter. It's like, you know, I mean, I am somebody. So my life matters. So regardless of what you are, if you feel like you are somebody and stuff, I don't have to say my life matters and stuff, because I am somebody, and you are somebody too and stuff. So you know, if you know who you are, then somebody else, you know, if you don't know who you are, then somebody else can make you be who they want you to be. So know who you are and how you fit. So Aaron, I gotta go, man.
Hey man, I love you, brother. I love you, man.
Yeah, I love you too, man. It's great talking to you, man. I appreciate it, man.
Anytime. You are welcome here. And actually, when you're done with prayer and relieving yourself for your time off, I'd love to have you back later on this evening. I'd love to have you also call in with me on Mike TV, because I think it would be a good platform to you to talk about this with other people who will have questions for you, and will help to get this word out there.
I can see how that go. I can't make no promises right now.
No, it's cool.
I
all right. Well, you know, I'll keep bothering you. You know me.
No, I don't. I appreciate you, Aaron. Shoot, you be on me. I appreciate this whole thing and stuff. I appreciate you.
Anytime, man. I want your word out there. I think you and I are allies about breaking this chain of mental prisonership. I think that with that together we can change seed by seed by seed to plant. And as you say, and I've stolen from you many times, I write it all over the place. I even send it to Sarah Garvey many times. Good to grow. So.
Yep, no doubt, man. All right, Aaron, I love you, bro.
Love you, man. Have a good evening. Thank you for being on, man.
All right, no doubt.
And I'm gonna fill them in with the rest of the info, and so you don't have to.
All right, thank you, man. I appreciate you.
My pleasure. Appreciate you. Have a good night, man.
All right, you too.
All right, peace. And that was a 5-star quality phone call. All right, folks. Let's external display, yes. More videos, yes. Let's get at it. Now that we're here, I'm going to and thank you, Akil. By the way, go check out Akil's socials. I'm going to get him back online, talking on a regular basis, taking your phone calls if I can. I'm going to push him. He's got a family. He's got a lot of their obligations, of course, and he takes care of the Jurassic 5 stuff, which is still a business, although, it's not massively rolling. The organization isn't rolling out there. It's a one-man ship right now. And but just know, go support him. Show him he's who he is, that he's not somebody else. And we're going to go into this a little bit, actually, right now, because I think it's a good time for me to do so. Let me pull this up in the YouTubes, in the tubes views. And we're just going to look up what happens. We're going to look up what happens when people's ideas about a concept are not informed. And how, when you scroll through some of these things, you'll find that there is a Jurassic 5, and I'll look this up as well, actually. There's a Jurassic 5 conspiracy that somebody out there is pressing, and I have to wonder, what kind of benefit is it to anybody? Other than to maybe, scare people or sell a false narrative? I'm not really sure. And it confuses me in so many ways, because the guys in Jurassic 5 are just normal artists working hard, whether it be Newmark or Chemist and Soup and Mark 7 and, Charlie Tuna or Akil, the J5MC. These are normal human beings creating art and doing their best, living life, who have families. They are flesh and blood. They are not avatars. They are not an idea. They're not a concept that can be genetically changed. They can't have their face changed. They aren't millionaires. They work like you do. They just happen to do music. But like anybody else, they aren't wealthy. They aren't living in mansions, to be honest with you. I mean, we all make a living. But that our level of success is a different idea. Our level of success, and what success is to most of us in that circle, is about the fact that we get to make music and art for a living. Making $1 billion, $1 million, that's not interesting. You have to really kind of be a psychopath to want to make that much money. You have to kind of really want to hoard and not care about other people. You have to really kind of have less of a morality than more of a morality. And that's kind of the reason why people feel so free to pass around misinformation. And why, when people doubt me, I'm like, man, I won't play that game. I do my research. If I'm wrong, I admit I'm wrong. I'll put a retraction out there. Not a problem. I can apologize. I can say, nope, I got that wrong. Totally wrong. I'll say, it seems like, it may be, I feel like, in my humble opinion, but I would never say, this is absolute because I feel something and I think. No. Likeliness is Occam's razor. The simplest answer is most likely the true answer. So here, let me get everything back into the normal order of stuff here on my let's get the imaging back, and then I'm going to share a bunch of videos so you understand. I don't want to propagate much of this, but I want you to understand what was actually being said, how it's actually being said, and the crazy connections. So this really actually, Akil's story, and we didn't go deep into where the roots were. We just kind of glanced over so you'd get an idea of the storyline. And I wanted to just get the big meta points so that we didn't get into the weeds, the minutia. Because it really comes down to a lady who had a mental illness, and some European YouTube journalists at the time, who have since taken down their video because it was so wrong, and they were just basically being salacious. They found somebody who had a crazy idea, and they thought it would be fun and funny to prank and act like they were taking her seriously, and so they gave her a platform for like 3 hours. It's like 2 hours of just straight, diatribe about things that she could not know. And she's the one I'm talking about, that she showed up to that show at TLA, and took film outside. So I thought she was our invited guest who didn't show up. I didn't realize that she was somebody different. So that's even crazier. There's more than one of them at the same time looking for conspiracy where it's not just that there is none, but rather where there couldn't be. And when I say there couldn't be, it's because Akil and TUPAC lived in two different cities, have two different mothers, and Akil's circle of friends would have not accepted Pac. We're not same group of people. And there's another interview in here. I will have him back on. For sure, there's another interview in here. In his circle of friends and the comparatives. I don't want him to have to go on and on about it, to be honest with you. I believe that he said his piece about it, so I let it lie there, and now it's up to me to kind of build the narrative and also the example and summary to correct the misinformation. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to open up the use of the tubes. There's my phone, folks. Isn't my phone pretty? And let's see if I don't dox myself. Nope. Okay, good. There we go. Live yet. Nobody watching this live and breaking shit. And that's okay. Because this is for later. No people just don't get my sense of what I'm doing, and that's fine. That's fine. It's all about a slow burn, folks. And the slow burn is the good burn. All right, so let me look it up. Let's see, Jurassic 5 conspiracy. Oh, not Jurassic Park, Jurassic 5. Just hit the wrong one. And it might actually, they might have taken these down. Because I know I had to go on Google earlier. Conspiracy. Because sometimes they will take the stuff down. So yeah, this lady was actually brought on to a live broadcast on her porch, and she explained how she is. Yeah, they seem to have buried this. Let's see. All right. So I'm gonna have to go. This is very interesting. So it looks as though this has been buried, and I'm gonna have to go into the Googles to get to this. Jurassic 5 is other artists. Because there's a whole lot of conspiracy around this. All right, hold on. Akil is TUPAC. That's the easiest way to get to this craziness. All right, so here we go. And I'm telling you, I want you to see this for a second, because look at all the videos. This is a real conspiracy, folks. People really think my homie is somebody who's gone. And they will say anything at all, to have you believe that this is true. So I don't even know if I can find the original one, but these are from recent times. Let's see, 2022, 2021, all the way back to 2009. Holy moly, this actually goes all the way back to 2009. This has been going on for 14 years. Let me dispel some stuff. Let's just look at the first crazy one. All right, Conscious X, we're coming for you. This is from 2021. It's a 15-minute video. We're gonna go to my. I hate to pull this up on mine, but okay.
I seen somebody said TUPAC is coming back this year and stuff. Well, I've been back, as far as.
Okay, so that's some crap. Hold on a second. By the way, did you see the edit there? This almost looks very deep faked, but let me just roll it back. I'll go roll it back. I've never seen this stuff, so I'm just watching it right away. But this is a kill. Guaranteed this is a kill. But once again, can't be Tupac because his mother is not Mrs. Shakur. I've met his mother. I've seen his passport. Okay?
I seen somebody said Tupac is coming back this year and said, well, I've been back, you know, as far as they saying Tupac coming back this year. I've been fucking here. You just recognizing the shit and stuff, you know.
That right there is some really fancy little bullshit editing. It's actually not even fancy. It's really bad. It's really bad. Folks, that's clearly edited. That's not real.
Oh, so, yeah.
I don't know why. At that point, I'm just like...
I seen somebody said Tupac is coming back this year and stuff.
Well, this is just a loop?
I've been back, you know, as far as they saying Tupac. Now, this nigga scared. What the fuck is up now? Niggas is scared now. Niggas is on scared, and I'm fucking on video. What the fuck you scared of, homie?
Oh yeah, this is like one of those examples of him talking to the audience and
Mr.
not
Sean Carter, little fake ass Jay-Z motherfucker.
Tell him.
Yeah, nah, niggas is backing up now. Y'all niggas want to back up. I'm fucking on the video. I can't even come through the goddamn phone, but y'all niggas is backing up now.
Okay, so by the way, this is a very baby style, like, so they preface the video by editing some stuff together. Like, what exactly do they think that it's proving other than that they can edit vocals over the beginning of the video? Alright, let's take this apart. Sorry. Now it hurts my brain because I can see why, if you just didn't know, you'd be like, oh my god, that's Tupac, just because he's saying it. And also there's an angle of the chin or whatever. But he still doesn't look like him. And hold on a second. Let me take a real close look at this. Because what I'm seeing here is it looks like there's some kind of overlay, although this is from 2021, so this can be deepfake. And it could be that I do see some digital distortion around the edges of things, so I think they added a filter of some nature. Because he's missing all of his age lines. So, this is definitely funny. Somebody literally made this so that he would look more like him. So somebody's benefiting from this. That's what I'm saying, and why we were talking about this. Somebody's benefiting from this. Even look at the picture on the front. I don't know how you would think that either of these two men look the same. Their nose lines are different, the jaw lines are different, the hairline, the eyebrows, the spacing of the eyes. You could just do a simple, line up of the face, and that's how you can actually, by the way, that's why you can use your face for your phone, is because our faces are just like thumbprints or fingerprints. So, uncomfortable kids. Making me highly uncomfortable with the stupid here. Yeah. Alright. Let me, keep going.
We will expose you, bro. Sean Carter, nigga, you will never expose me. If there is nothing to expose, bro, get the fuck off my line.
There's nothing to expose. Can't prove a negative. Can't disprove a negative because it doesn't exist. So when you're asking the man right here to disprove something just because you believe it, all he can do is show you his license. Let's forget about his stage name. Dante, my friend Mr. Givens, doesn't deserve that. He's working very hard to be himself. His voice is very individual. He doesn't rap the same way. He's got a totally different style. His flow is different. It's LA classic. It's not Bay Area. He's not part of that same, he's not even part of the same clique. As someone who was in between all them cliques, we didn't even get to, I didn't even bring up Spike's Comedy Exchange or the things that I was doing in the 90s while I knew that they were over there, not in the same clique, not in the same circle. I mean, there's many different groups, but, Pac wasn't even in LA, really. He was in the hills. He was in the, it's just, he was already made it by the time he was in LA. Akil was struggling at that time. There's plenty of footage of him with the little short hair and so many other references when he started growing his dreads originally. I'm sorry, it kills me to hear this because it does stress my friend out. It really is a danger to him. And I'm telling you this. I'm here talking about this because I am going to track down the root of it. If he doesn't do it, I'm going to do it. Because I believe that this is all associated to the benefits people are making off of the Pearlyverse, the no jumper BS, the fresh and fit BS, the DGG allowance, and the undermining of social norms of acceptable treatment of others. Because we're letting it devolve to the point where we'll turn a real person,
Sean Carter, you
this man right here, into an avatar for your entertainment. You understand me? To anybody, not my audience, but to anybody out there who's doing that to somebody who's a real person, vacuum. Okay? In case you have your audio on, vacuum. I'm going to come and I'm going to expose you. I'm going to find out where you work. I'm going to find out what you do. I'm going to publicly display you in the proper means and fashion. I will hit you where your pocket hits you. And let me just give you a heads up for all of those who think I'm some kind of posing, clout-chasing person. You notice how I'm not monetized and I don't have very many followers, but have you looked at who is subscribed to me? Have you looked at my 80,000 views for 200 videos? Have you looked at an incredible amount of watch hours for somebody who has 100 and now 20, but the majority of those came when I only had 60? And the reason is because in real life, my friends, I live what I preach. And I preach what I live. And if I'm to tell you anything, and I'm just going to address a couple of the haters out there, specifically King Snitches and a couple of them other folks. Let me just share my missing teeth. Which, by the way, I do this on purpose. I'm not going to lie to you. And this is the only time I would mention that. Because I want you to discount on purpose. I want you to check your own mental bias. Because you can hear me making sense, but you want to discount it because you might mistrust the look or think something otherwise. Well, that makes you the idiot, and you're telling me that you're an idiot without saying it. Tell me how you're missing the whole point of the meta. And I'm sorry, I don't mean to call you an idiot. That's not the audience. I'm not talking about those who would use their prejudices, use their bigotry, use their biases to choose who a person is. And this is, I go through this constantly. Because I'm not, everybody wants to say that I'm not part of their team in general. So, okay, cool. I know I'm not part of anybody's team, apparently. Even though I'm part of everybody's team. That's because people who don't know me will often, especially white people, will walk up and decide that I'm not white because they see my nose. That nose is not my Jewish relative's nose. My Jewish relatives have a little pug nose that I wish I could have. Instead, I got this strong, bold nose with a bit of a crook. That's native. Indigenous folks. Okay? That's where that comes from. Check your Mickey freaking biases about every single thing. Curly hair. This curly hair. That's the German. That's the Irish. My dad has blue eyes and blonde hair. My grandfather has blue eyes and blonde hair. My grandmother had blue eyes and red hair. Check your bias. Okay? Check what you're thinking. Make sure that it's not being sold to you so that you'll disenfranchise or minimize or devalue or dehumanize someone who has real things to lose, real family out there, real information, real existence, physical body. At the end of the day, when you feel like you're able to undermine someone else's existence because of a video or a sense of personal gratitude from sitting there behind and thumb jockeying, and you're more concerned about whether or not the spell check was used than whether or not there's a message being said to you. If you're more worried about whether or not, hey, you're treating me badly is spelled right, than, hey, you're treating me badly is being said, you are likely part of the hypnosis and the psychosis that's been generated upon people who don't know the difference between left, right, up, and down, or what's real and not. And I'm not going to lambaste you for that. I'm going to say you have to free yourself, or you're just part of the problem. And in the case of my friend Akil, Mr. Dante Givens, who is currently with his family, I'm sure either praying or having his fast break, is a real person. If you're not recognizing that I'm a real person, that he's a real person, then I'm going to say you need to put your thumbs down. Put your thumbs down. Step back and go experience stuff. Put yourself out there. Stretch yourself. Because what's going on right now is we're capitulating, as he said, to a compromise instead of a cooperation. We're capitulating to somebody benefiting off of what people don't know. And I can guarantee you, as someone who does know, who is here, who has benefited from built construct and structure, who has... So by the way, and also to one of those youngsters out there who's like, anybody who uses the term construct is just coping. No. Some of us use it as a descriptor for an actual thing. Your inability to understand that or want to, that becomes my problem only after the fact. It's technically not my problem, it's your problem. It's a YP, not an MP. But I still have to deal with it after the fact. So I come around, as Akil will as well, and does, and deals with you directly, one-to-one. And like I was saying, I will track in real life, offline, who these folks are, just like I did last time. It was easy to find, and then they took the videos down and changed them around. But this time it's different. I'm seeing a lot of copy-paste, so it means that somebody is benefiting from it, and it's likely YouTube. So I'm calling the folks at YouTube out, and I'm saying it in the algorithm. Check your biases. You have a couple people working there that clearly are fine with this because it draws interest to your platform and you're seeing the alt-right work. So I would also say that apparently, this brings me to the Pearly Things information that I found and then confirmed. There's a gentleman named Kobe that apparently works for YouTube and also is a manager for YouTube artists, which is a conflict of interest and against the tenets of Alphabet and Google Incorporated. So I made sure to send out a couple notifications. And I would urge you to do so too. To check in the workings of a certain employee named Kobe, who also manages Candace Owens and Pearly Things, if he hasn't been fired already. Now, if he has, my apologies. Don't mean to throw things that are incorrect and I may be behind. But otherwise, that's some information you should know. Is that there are people in the pipeline, in the works, that do have other underlying agenda. They do have an intent to hurt people like my friend Akil. Why? Because they make money off of the drama. They make money off of you buying the things that they're selling. Now, if you notice, I'm not monetized. I don't have enough people on here. I don't know. The reason I'm doing this is not even to gain clout or interest. I'm doing this to fight something that I may have even had involvement in creating or perpetrating or perpetuating over time. So I'm trying to do the right thing. Because my friends, the people I've grown up with, my comrades, my colleagues, the people I make music with, we're all in this group of people. And now, my former employers, People think that they're Biggie, and people think he's Tupac, and insanity that threatens their lives. It will never be taken lightly by me. Especially when I have the tools and capability to find out every single thing I need to about the situation within a 24-hour period, generally, track down, and in most cases, contact directly to have a one-on-one. But you know what's funny is, whenever you do this, in my case, people love to ignore me like they didn't get the message, or delete those messages, or they like to sideways make commentary instead of using my name and being brave and actually not being a coward because of so many other things that would hold them back, which is most of the case because they love to think that everybody is doing this, and they would hate to admit that reality has a place. That some of us are real. And we're the last people you want to poke, because in reality we may look tiny, but my friend, we're giants. The person that message was just sent to has heard this message, I'm sure. So the shot crossed the bow, my friend. How's that for fourth wall? Gonna turn a little bit, shall we? All right, folks. What did we learn today? We learned that you can be manipulated to believe something that's not true. So much so that you could actually affect someone's life, career. You could be manipulated to threaten someone to the point of saying they can be deleted, and then someone else might actually go act that out, as I made an example of to the late and amazing talent of Christina Grimmie, who we lost not just too early, but she didn't even get a life. She just got there. That's the effect it has in the real world. You don't want to see it that way. You want to argue with me. You want to have some capitulation to some minutia or granular thinking. Let me just give you a little hint here, kids. You're the asshole in the room. Yes, you are the asshole. Am I the asshole? Yeah, you're the asshole. Your elder is telling you something, and you need to take it into consideration because everybody's been screaming it at you. These are real people on the other side. They have real lives. You have real effects on their life. Believing these folks who would sell you an ice cream cone with their own shit poured into it. I'm not even going to go down the bedazzled train. Let me just going to talk to you because I'm fucking upset about this. You eat that shitty. You go fucking ahead and eat that shitty ice cream cone. But let me tell you something about that ice cream cone. That just sold yourself into a fucking bit of slavery for 1,400 incredibly wealthy individuals who don't give a flying fuck about you. They live off of your pain. They live off of your blood. They live off the soul you didn't know you sold them before you were born. So stop looking at the Jews. Stop looking at the black people. Stop looking at the Euros. Stop looking at the this, at the that, at the that. Stop freaking fighting with each other. It's an obelisk prison. There's a Ben at the top holding us all fucking down, and it threatens in so many insane ways. People just trying to make art. People just trying to live with their families. People just trying to pray 5 times a day in this case. All I can do is ask you to have empathy and humanity, to be a human, to recognize that others are human, that these aren't, no matter who you see, they're not AI generated. They're not genetically modified. You want to go look at that? We can have that discussion. It's definitely not a keel. It's definitely not the 99.9% of the rock and roll industry. That's the most earnest of the industries. The least manipulated, other than the visual that you see, because it's hard to manipulate the artists themselves. They're all individuals, and they're free-form people. So, but in particular, the topic that we're talking about today is the fact that that mental prison that has so many regurgitating little clips that they found online that fit their idea bias. It can threaten the lives of somebody that you care about. January 6th, huh? Or going to vote. Folks are rolling around carrying guns to keep you from the vote based off of an idea on a meme pushed by somebody else who tells you a name and won't tell you who he is. But he'll send you a picture with a bunch of glyphs on it for you to figure out on your own, because you can do that. You can do the research. What research are you doing, as Akil pointed out? Are you going to the places? Are you meeting the people? Do you meet people? Have you seen Akil? He's 5'3". Tupac is taller than me. Look, I know a lot of this is conjecture, and I didn't even get to share the film. I'm not gonna. I don't want to give them time. You can go look at it yourself. You see how ridiculous most of it is. When it comes right down to it, folks, I over and over again will say this to you without hesitation, ever. This is a perpetuation of a battle system, a maze, a prison. A mental prison that you will buy into and then protect at all costs because it's so tribal. You will shit in a pail. You will paint it gold-plated pretty and put some bedazzle shit and fling it at your neighbor as hard as you can. Why? Because somebody else is making $1 off your dime. And who are they? Just simply think about it for a second, folks. They're folks who would benefit off of each other fighting so that they can buy you out. So they can have you spend money on your defensive mechanisms, on the thing you need, on the things you need to support and defend yourself, or on the things that keep you barricaded inside those closed wall houses, or you know, I mean, I'm sorry. There's so many things. The examples get flustered for me because there's so many things. But I keep coming back to the fact that this gentleman right here is a real human with real life things going on, with a real job, with a real family, flesh and blood. He is not Tupac. He's not a genetic this or that. He is not a makeup. He's not an avatar. He's not an AI. This is Akil Dante Gibbons. He's about 3 years older than me. Grew up in LA. In very tough situation. His mother was not an activist. He did not grow up amongst the Black Panthers. Quite the opposite. Which is his story to tell, not mine. But quite the opposite. Okay? So when you minimize a person to an idea, you threaten their existence, folks. It's become so normalized that folks on like Destiny's Channel will throw around the N-bomb and threaten to delete other people for fun, and it's funny. And that's not acceptable. We drew that line a long time ago, and it's still not acceptable. You not liking it? You're trying to take away generation after generation of people working for something that you just don't have enough importance in because you don't have the perspective to realize that everybody fought for it and you don't have to, so you took it for fucking granted, kids. And I'm speaking to a certain generation of people. You need to pay attention to this. I'm not a boomer. I'm Generation X. Fuck around and find out. Which brings me to the end, folks. It brings me to the end of this one. And I'm sorry, Akil, that you experienced this. I hope your day is going really well. I'm gonna hit you back up and bother you tonight because I'm gonna try to get you on. I'm gonna try to get him on Mike TV. So if you watch this and you go over to Mike TV, make sure to like and subscribe, both of us. The button's down below. Always welcome to have you here. This is the home of the awkward, as I say, the friend of the friendless. I believe in you because I do. I believe that every single one of us can be better than we think we can be. That we can be more than we can think that we can be. That we're not less than. And that if we believe one little rant or one snipped up video from somewhere and we don't actually go find out the reality, then we're doing people a disservice. Which is also another point that when you hear me talking about reality and stuff, I have done my due diligence every single time. Even if I get it wrong, then I can retract. I make mistakes too. I'm fallible, I'm human, I'm humble. I shouldn't even say that because that just precludes itself. I hate when people do that, but I have to say I have humility. I'm willing to admit when I get shit wrong. I'm human. I fuck up all the time. Shit. I think this is the first time you guys have really heard me curse. It's because my friend had his life messed with. He can't even go use his own platform because nobody will let him speak about anything but this. So we're trying to kill this now, and I'm going to take him on a couple other platforms that I can get him there to get this done with. I'm going to try to snip this up later and make this into something. Once again, at the end of the day, the only thing I can ask of you folks is to stand with us and to not give in or capitulate or compromise for less than. Don't settle for. Cooperate. Don't compromise. As Akil has pointed out, I am somebody. No compromise. You are somebody. No compromise. Because when it comes to reality, if you compromise, oh, it's okay to throw an N-bomb. Oh, it's okay to tell people to delete themselves. Oh, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. We can just throw them in a pit. And, most of us aren't affected by it anyways. And so if they starve in that pit and atrocities are done, well, it's okay. Because that's it. You may not believe, but it's a slippery slope. It's how it happens. You could say I'm being overrated, but come on, folks. I think Akila is a great freaking example. Some lady rants on her porch, which is where it starts, with some folks that wanted to make fun of her and troll her overseas. And that video is up since 2009. And for the past 5 years, since we haven't been out and touring, this gentleman here has been chased by this. So I'm going to say this to you. This is a challenge, and it's also a warning to those who would propagate false narrative and carry on nationalist, white nationalist, hateful agendas. I know who you are, and I'm coming for you. And I'm going to take your construct down, piece by brick by chunk. And I'm going to do it in the most legal, above board, unifying, and wondrous way, my friend, because I'm going to build a coalition of the willing, of the unified, of the loving, of the intellect, of the flowers. Have that be your shot across the bow. So as we come to a close, my friend, my friends, my friend, right now it is, I urge you to stay strong, to do reading, to do viewing, to go out into the world, to go look at more than the surface, to question what you see, to check your own biases, to make sure that you're not in an echo bubble change circuit of circular thought and reasoning, doing backflips like WrestleMania so you can get a 10-point lead in your own mental freaking prison. Check your biases. And most importantly, you know what I'm going to say. Look out!